What up, MFs? Welcome back to the Snake Pit. This is episode 162. Today's guests are Simone C. She's the owner of Taste Buds Food Company, and Ashley Zubia, the owner of Llano Cubano. Both of them are food trucks here in Lubbock, Texas. We had a great time talking about that. And, you know, man, I bet you're going to get hungry after this. So go check them out here in Lubbock, Texas. Check their Instagram to see whenever they're available. This has come out on a Friday, and I know they're busy on the weekend. So go give them your business. Great conversation. Shout out to Jen. Shout out to Bradley for the help. If you're new to the podcast, please subscribe. It's easy. It's free. And it'll help us out a lot. You can check us out at thesnakepitrattleSnakeroy.com. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. You know, I have merch available, long sleeves, some t-shirts available. Hit me up for those. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you. Now we're getting started. Here we are. Who am I here with? You guys go ahead and introduce yourselves while I open this damn beer.
I am Simone C. and I'm here for Taste Buds Food Company.
And I am Ashley Zubia, and I own Llano Cubano food truck.
Oh, you guys are both food truck people?
We're both food
shit.
truck people, yeah.
Wow.
Dude, I had to find another one.
I was wondering what that was. I wasn't going to ask.
Okay.
Like, who are you?
Yeah, I was like listening to y'all talk, and I was like, how do they not know each other? Like, I don't know, because like you were like explaining like your life, and I was just like, okay, they don't know each other, but they're good.
We know each other, but we don't.
Can you
we're about to
the
learn a
mic
lot.
closer towards you, please?
Yeah, we're about to learn a lot
You're like,
about
we're
each
about
other
to
too.
meet.
Yeah.
We're all learning from each other. So how long have you been doing the food truck?
Almost a year. December will be 1 year.
Oh, is that new?
Yeah, but I've been in the food industry since 2009 is when I went to culinary school. So I've been doing it a long time.
Where's the culinary school at?
I went to Dallas, Le Cordon Bleu. They're all shutting down now, though, so it's kind of iffy.
What was that like, though? Please tell me about that. I'm interested in that one.
It was a lot of fun. I loved culinary school. It was only a year and a half. But when you go to school in the morning, it was like 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. You had to have your full getup on. Like we had this little, it's called a cravat. You had to tie this handkerchief tie every day. You had to have your towel. You had to be totally like starched, apron, thermometer, Sharpie, pen, pencil, name tag, your hat. And they would check your shoes. We had one chef. If your shoes were scuffed, he'd be like, leave right now.
Could you come back, or are you done for the day?
If you went and bought black shoe polish and you fixed it, he would let you come back in. But if you weren't willing to go like buy shoe polish down the street, because we're like downtown Dallas, not downtown, but Dallas, like Dallas proper. And yeah, he'd be like, nah, get out. You dirty fingernails, your nails are too long, leave. I have bangs like this hanging out of my hat, get out.
How many people were like done in like the first week? Would you say?
We started out with like 30 something people, and my graduating class, my original class actually graduated like 2 weeks before me, because I went on vacation, so it put me 2 weeks behind. But my actual class, I think there were like 13 of us. The very first week, this guy cut his finger bad, and it was like squirting.
Oh, fuck.
And he was an older gentleman, and he was like, I'm just here because I'm retired and I want something fun to do.
Oh.
And he never came back though. It was really sad.
Ooh.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it was cool. The entire first week we got to cut potatoes, and that was like all you were allowed to do. And just learning your like specific cuts and like the French names of cuts, and yeah. It's fun.
Was it like a process to get accepted, or could you just like anybody? Honestly,
anybody can apply. Like they're just there to take your money. They don't care who comes.
It sounds like they set you up for success, huh? Would you say?
Definitely. I'm definitely one of the lucky ones. There aren't many people that I graduated that are still in the industry.
God damn. So after that, you came back to Lubbock, or what'd you do after that?
I went and worked at Disney World.
No way.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That was intense. It was fun. But working for a corporation that big is like not fun.
Why we just talking about
Why
that
do you say intense?
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking.
Just because like we were peons, we're like fresh out of culinary school. They don't care about us. You got paid crap.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to live in an apartment complex, and it was all the kids like fresh out of culinary school or that are in the Disney college program. And so it's people from all over the U.S., people from all over the world. Like I worked at the German restaurant. Everybody in the back of the house that cooked was from all over the U.S., but everybody who worked out in the front that were servers like were from Germany. So it was a really fun experience. But working for a place that big, like would make it's like 12 racks on a tray, and I would make 72 meatballs per rack, and then I would make like 6 racks, and I would just sit in a kitchen and roll meatballs and stack them in this fridge on racks.
Like slave work.
Dude, meatballs and like put these potato dumplings.
Dang.
Yeah, for like days. You just do the same thing every single day at work.
Did you learn German?
No, but sometimes I had to carve meat, and they made me wear like the legit chef hat, and I hated it. And people would walk up and they'd be like, "Was ist das?" And I'd be like, "I'm from Texas," because like your name tag, everybody's at Disney tells you where you're from, and they're like, "You don't speak German?" No, like you're in the German restaurant. I'm like,
That's one language I think I would learn.
Texas. It was cool to hear them like. Well, and you feel like an idiot. Like from out here, like I don't know if you guys all speak Spanish or another language. I don't.
Yeah.
But all the kids from Germany that I worked with, at least were bilingual. Like most of them spoke 3 to 4 languages, and you would speak with them. Yours.
That's what I'm saying. I think it'd be cool if my Mexican ass pulled up and just started speaking German. Don't even speak like anything other than just German.
Have you met?
Haven't I told you that before? I just want to speak German. I don't want to speak anything else.
Learn it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Mennonites in this area, so.
Isn't that kind of like they create their own language though, like kind of like a dialect of it?
It's like Low German. They don't speak proper German, so there's Low and High German. But it's a sweet language.
Shout out to them.
Yesterday we were talking about the Disney World College program.
Yeah.
And I had friends that did it. And someone had made a joke saying that at Disneyland, the people that are in the Mickey Mouse costumes is probably like some drug addict or something like that.
So,
but I was telling him that
I think I made that joke.
yeah. But to be honest, a lot of it's like a bunch of college kids too.
it is a lot of college kids.
Yeah.
Mickey and Minnie, honestly, if you ever see one, most of the time it's like an Asian girl because they're small. Like when you start seeing people that you work with behind the scenes is what they call it. They have like the body types of all the characters, so you'd be like, oh, that guy's definitely like Goofy or what's his name from Toy Story. Just because they have that body.
Woody.
Yeah, they have that body type.
Yeah.
Y'all aren't called the employees. It's
No, we're cast members.
that's right, cast members. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another crazy thing, when I went to Disneyland in California, there's people that I guess that are in that program. This girl was doing surveys walking around, and she walked
You
up
do
to us.
everything there. Yeah.
Well, this girl just randomly walked up to us, and it said like Emily something, Lubbock, Texas,
Oh, nice.
and we told her we were from Lubbock, and we're like, man, of all the people that I could have gone up to, I went to the family from Lubbock,
The
Texas.
one person from Lubbock, yeah.
That's funny.
You're drawn to each other.
So
Which one was that at? In California?
yeah, Disneyland. Mm-hmm.
I think this is the first time on this podcast that I got caught not listening.
No.
I was not listening at all. God damn it. What'd you say? Sorry. Can you repeat that, please? Sorry.
Oh my god.
I really was
Dreaming
not.
at Disney.
I was not thinking at all.
A cast member at Disney World was doing
Yeah, but-
surveys at the park,
hmm
and she randomly walked up to us, and on her name tag it said Emily something, Lubbock, Texas.
Oh,
Of all
shit.
the people that she could have walked up to, she
Was it Emily Holland?
I don't remember. It was a
Yeah.
long time ago.
I knew some people who did that shit too.
It was a lot of fun.
So what happens after that? When you leave that, what are you doing?
I went back to Odessa. So I'm originally from Seminole. I went to college 2 years in Odessa just to go to college because that's what you're supposed to do, I guess.
So Unlucky Barber, is that how you know him? Brandon?
Yeah, we grew up together.
Okay.
He's my sister's age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've known him since, he was like in kindergarten. I knew who he was.
What's that other guy's name? Connor McDonald, do you know him?
Ish.
Finesse.
He's younger than us. I actually didn't know that he had that business until I was looking at y'all's YouTube page and I was like, Connor? What the heck is he? So yeah, but he's much younger. And then his sister's much older than me. So I'm like in between their family.
32?
27.
So he's, yeah, so I'm 33. So he wasn't in high school when I was there. So
Oh.
I'm like, know him.
Damn it. Well,
We can find out if you really want to know.
She's all, I got you.
It will be very easy.
so you go to Odessa after.
Yeah, so I go back to Odessa and I work at a little bistro tea house, and that's where I learned a lot of old European recipes. The lady who owned it was Croatian, and so I learned a lot from her. And I was there for
Was she
6 or
hardcore?
7 years. No, she was so cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, super cool. People like there are rumors about her from our other like old employees from there. They're like she's a spy or she was in the Olympics or some like crazy stuff. And I'd be like, Anna, were you a skier? And she was like, I've never skied a day in my life. Like, and you're like, okay. But yeah, there were like crazy little rumors about her. And so, but yeah, no, she was just a lady with money who had a restaurant. She was cool. But yeah, did that for 5 or 6 years, 6, 7 years. And then we moved here in the end of like 2014.
Then you went to, what'd you do after that?
I worked at a place called Healthy Meals to Go. And they were like new up and coming, which is like meal prepping for people. And then I started working at Flippers.
Shout out to Flips.
Is that still a thing? The healthy meals to go?
It has another name now. I don't know
Okay,
who.
because I
I don't.
remember hearing about it all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody. I don't know if it's the same owner or same people. I honestly have no clue. Yeah, I started working at Flippers, and I was like, oh, I'm out of here. So.
And so when you got out, you started Taste Buds?
Yeah, so I wanted to. The reason I went to culinary school is because I was like, I'm gonna have a food truck one day.
Oh, that was always the idea.
That was always like the dream. I should like. I never saw myself working in a bar or a restaurant. Like I was like, it's not for me. I just want to like cook, make food, and that's it. I don't want to deal with servers. I don't want to deal with any of that. But working at that restaurant just kind of fell into my lap. I started serving just because there weren't any nice restaurants after culinary school, and I was like total food snob after culinary school. And I was like, I'm not working at Chili's. Like I'm not gonna work at a fast food place. Like I refuse. And so I found that place, and I was like, screw it. They make all their stuff homemade here. I'll be a server here. As soon as something in the kitchen opens up, I'll be the first one to be like, yo, please move me in there. I hate like being out here with people. And so, yeah, a lady ended up quitting like 2 weeks after I started working there. And I was like, please put me in the kitchen. And then was there probably 6 months working in the kitchen. And the head chef lady quit. And she was like, do you want this position? I was like, heck yeah, I do. And then the manager moved. And she was like, you want to be my manager now? And I was like, absolutely. And it just slowly fell into my lap. And then Flippers kind of the same. I was done at Healthy Meals to Go. Started serving there. They're going to be a bartender. And I was like, sure, I've never done it before, I guess. But I worked in the kitchen there too. So that was a lot of fun.
Shout out to Jackson Bros Meat Locker.
Yes. Jackson Bros and Hale Meats. They make the sausage specifically for Flippers now. Like they have their own dog.
Really?
Yeah. It's a coconut Thai green curry dog. It's so good.
Would you eat that?
Probably not. I don't like coconut.
I don't either. I'm not a fan of coconut.
But I'm not a picky eater. And just coconut is one of the specific things I'm like.
Yeah.
What do you don't like anything? What are you talking about?
No, I'm.
She don't like eggs. She don't like
Okay,
beans.
bullshit. I didn't like eggs until like 3 years ago, and I finally like tried it, and I was like, "This is cool." I'm still not like. I still can't do like hard boiled eggs.
No.
No, I'm not there yet.
I like
I don't like
those.
eggs either. I like them deviled eggs. I can do
Oh,
that.
I love those.
I'm
I'm not like scrambled
Yeah.
over easy.
I'm not at scrambled, but I am at over easy. I do like
Working your
omelets.
way.
Yeah.
Am I a monster if I do this? Every time I go to a breakfast place, I order my eggs over easy, and then right next to my hash browns, I just mix.
No, that's what I
No, that's-
do.
Okay.
I think that's
With like
that's what
lots
it's
of
for.
like Louisiana hot sauce.
Bradley,
Oof.
you're not always a savage, Bradley. Sometimes you're normal.
I feel like some people would be like,
Some
"Ew,
people
food
just like-
can't touch.
Yeah.
I love over easy eggs. Jesus,
Yeah.
I love them.
Oh, yeah.
mixing with potatoes or hash browns or
Mm.
dipping toast in them.
So, question: in movies, when it comes to food, there's always this scene where like someone wants to join this kitchen, but the boss or whoever says, "Okay, make me an omelet." Is that a thing?
So in culinary, so a toque, like a chef hat, it has as many folds in it as there are things that you can do, like
Can you
with
look
an
that
egg.
up, please? Chef hats, please.
No way.
That is like the
Chef hat's
original, like what they say about it. Well, let's Google it and find out how true it is.
Pull this up.
I just want to see like visualize it in my head because I can't even.
You said
So those are
Is that the one like with the girl?
Would you
No.
Google like chef hat folds?
you can do toque.
Of course you do. I mean-
TOQUE, I think is how you spell
it's
it.
still
Like-
Yeah, of course. There's a little bit of a delay as soon as we want to see something.
okay. Again, chef hats what? Fold.
Folds. Yeah.
I like to see how Bradley spells things. Don't worry, dude. I suck at spelling too. What the hell is that?
So like an engine, maybe.
I don't know what I was saying.
It works great. It just
Oh, but an omelet. Yeah, it is an important thing to make. Like in school, it's a big deal. Like you'll have an omelet test, and they want it to be perfect, like a 2-egg omelet or a 1 egg.
what is described like.
Do like
what
me an
makes
omelet.
the omelet perfect?
It's depends on like if you say a French omelet, usually it's just like whipped eggs and a little bit of cheese.
Uh-huh.
Like there aren't vegetables in it. You don't. That's like the traditional like French omelet. You know?
Isn't there like a Japanese way to make egg? Like they do it a different way too?
Yeah, they like fold it. So it's like super thin egg in a pan, and then it's a square pan. They just slowly fold it over on top of itself. Yeah. And then you get those like little square, like looks like a little brownie piece, but it's scrambled eggs.
I've never seen that.
I'm not much of a cheese person, but I do like them with eggs.
Is this what y'all are looking for?
Yeah, so one like there. Yep.
This guy.
Whoa,
Oh.
that that pointy head looks a little too weird for me. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
So what do the folds represent? Something special or?
No. So
There's 100
it said that
folds.
It's all the. Does it tell you how many?
Says there, why are there 100 folds?
There you go.
No, I can't see him.
Oh, sorry. Huh.
Oh.
Yeah. See eggs.
The feed, it has to do with eggs. It has to do with that.
Have you ever? Are you much of a weed connoisseur?
A weed connoisseur,
You dabble in those things.
definitely.
Have you ever like tried to make? Because I was thinking bong appetit. That's why it made me come up in my head. Have you ever try to like cook and make shit like that for
I've-
yourself? Maybe maybe not
Yeah.
because it's illegal here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm from Colorado, so
Yeah, you're
it's
lucky.
a very different world here.
Yeah.
I've never made like my own oil or my own butter at home. Like I've been given it to make stuff for people. And yeah, all sorts of treats, anything and everything.
Nice.
But there are like some THC drops that have no taste, and they're awesome to put in. Like you could drop it in a drink, or you can drop it in a salad
Oh my
dressing.
gosh, that sounds
or
dangerous.
icing. But it's awesome because it's a medicine dropper, so it tells you on the back like what a dose is, so you can actually like dose it out properly and like let people know what they're getting out of it, instead of like making your own butter and being like, I don't know.
One bite stronger than the other.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there's a whole culinary world in Denver.
I think they were like in there one time.
Yeah.
Like they were on Vice, and I think they.
Chang's did a video with it. This chef that dealt with THC. She made everything from like mashed potatoes to
Yeah.
wings.
yeah,
Everything was infused with THC.
That is insane.
that'd be awesome.
My soul would like leave my body.
We should do it
That'd be
sometime.
dangerous.
We should do it for the
Apparently there's
Patreon,
brewing
just to fuck
companies
around.
in legalized
Oh my God.
states that brew like.
Yeah, there were some in Colorado when we went
I feel
last
like
time.
that would fuck you.
There was like a beer.
Oh my goodness.
Alcohol and THC.
We were in Trinidad. There was some, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's beer, there was sodas.
I've had a soda.
Mm.
So
There's everything you can imagine.
So you grew up. You were born and raised in Denver.
Mhm.
You grew up there.
Mhm.
What was that like? We were there in October. It was cool.
It was great. I mean, I miss it a ton. I miss the mountains for sure. Being here in Lubbock is so flat, but
Yep.
I mean, I definitely saw a huge change of the city within the past couple years, and just like the homeless problem and everything. And but Denver is beautiful. I mean, the city vibe. There's always something to do. You know, everybody's into something different. It's very diverse, very eclectic. So I love it. I miss it a lot, but I have a family, and Lubbock is a lot more family friendly.
Yeah.
Denver
Being
just
that
got
like we
crazy.
hadn't traveled in a while, obviously like there was not much coming from Lubbock, going over there, like that was immediately what I noticed was the homeless problem. Like,
Yeah.
God damn, there's a
Sucks.
lot. It was like, because we stayed right downtown, so it was like that's where they're at. We were like a few blocks away.
And there's always been a homeless problem in Denver. Like there's always been homeless people downtown, a lot more than Lubbock. Like they've always been there. But within the past 5 years, I would say they have legalized the homeless camping. So they're everywhere. So you can't even go to a store without stepping over people. Like the downtown experience, when I was 21 and going downtown and to the bars and everything, it was pretty welcoming. You felt comfortable down there. But I wouldn't go down there now. I mean, it's crazy.
So it just got too crazy. Is that why y'all left?
Yeah. And the cost of living. I mean, like I said, we have kids, so we lived in a really good area, and with the gentrification and everybody moving there, it's made areas different, and they're pushing the homeless people out and out and out. So we had people behind our backyard with needles right behind where my kids play, and we could not afford to go anywhere else. Like you can't afford to move there.
Yeah. See, I know some people who listen say that they don't pay attention to gas prices, but I do. And when we were there, it was almost $5 a gallon.
We were tripping. We were
I was
there a couple
I was
weeks
so mad,
ago.
and I had to fill
Oh
up
my
there. I
gosh.
was mad.
Yeah, we did it.
I was
He
so fucking mad.
pissed, and I was like, Roy, what are we gonna do? We have to get
You
gas.
gotta get it.
I'm still
That's
gonna
what
be
I would
pissed.
say. I'm like, it sucks, but am I not going?
I can still be
to?
mad.
Still
Yeah.
gonna drive home.
I can still be mad, man.
Yeah, we did a trip, and I pay for the gas on the way there, and my husband pays on the way back. And we had to fill up there, and he was like, "Next time, I'm paying on the way here."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a city. It's different, you know. Everything's different, and Denver's beautiful. It's I don't know. It's definitely. We went to the first 420 after everything was legal, and I have shirts from it. I'm like, I'm gonna pass those down to
Oh,
my
damn.
grandchildren. You know what I mean? Like
That's so cool.
it's like prohibition,
Yeah,
basically. And one thing that I really loved seeing was in the beginning when they first were legalizing the medicinal, there were kids who would come from all over America to get their treatments, and they stopped having seizures.
Yeah.
They stopped having to do like these opiates and these crazy medications because they were able to use the medicinal cannabis to heal themselves. So that was something like really unique and amazing to watch. And then the taxes, I mean, the schools benefited from it for a while. Once they legalized the recreational, it was a whole different story, but I definitely loved the medicinal and supported that. But
Well, it's definitely creeping around, man. Oklahoma and New Mexico is legal. So
yeah, I think it will be everywhere eventually. When it's like
whoever wants to be governor, legalize marijuana. That's all I got. I bet you be governor here. I bet you. So, or whoever wants to be president, legalize it federally. That'll fucking be the president.
Yeah.
Shout out to Denver, though. That was a cool city.
Yeah, we were there for like 4 days, and I feel like that still wasn't enough time to like see everything that
No.
the city had.
What
Yeah.
was that bar they all went to?
Slashers.
Slashers.
That was the
Oh,
coolest
yeah.
bar ever. There's like
There's
flip
a
splits.
lot
It
too.
was like
Cool
literally
spots there.
spooky flips.
It was.
Very
It was
cool.
spooky flips.
They even had PBR draft.
Well, they have like the Meow Wolf now there.
We went to that one. That
They
was.
have,
God.
I mean, everything there is just so cool. You know, it's I come to Lubbock and I'm like, oh, we should bring that to Lubbock. We should because Lubbock has none of it. Like the selfie museums or the, you know, everything that they have there is just really
Yeah.
fun and cool because there's a ton of people.
There
You
was
gotta
like a
have something to
selfie
do.
place here, and it just shut down. I think.
Really?
I was.
Yeah.
I saw it maybe
There was?
3 weeks ago.
What?
Yeah.
It was,
Where?
It's kind of in a venue, kind of like Bellevue. Like
Oh.
from the front, you're like, I don't.
I
This
don't know,
isn't
maybe
it.
that's why.
And then you
It's like
go
on
in, and it's just like
Frankfurt or
little
something.
rooms. Yeah.
Well, people are really artsy in Denver too, so it's not
Yeah.
like a venue thing. It's like a fun, like let's go out on Saturday and like take selfies or
Yeah.
you know, tons of photographers.
Yeah, that was
out
definitely it right there.
Oh,
Yes,
very
sir.
cool.
What is that?
It was at that
Nancy?
corner.
Oh yeah, yeah. So Colfax, I mean, that's a whole vibe in itself.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Huh.
I didn't even know that.
I grew up there, and I would take night classes because I had my daughter when I was 16. So I went through college and did night classes. So I would take the bus every night up and down Colfax, which is like that really crazy street. It goes like straight through downtown.
Mhm.
It's like the main street there in Denver, but you get a lot of personalities after dark there. Yeah,
Wow.
it was very interesting, but
I don't know if this is true, but someone was telling me that in Boulder, Colorado, like the reason why it's so expensive over there, because one of the schools that I wanted to go to was the University of Colorado.
The Buffaloes?
Yeah, the Buffaloes.
go Buffs.
But apparently, someone was telling me that Boulder, it's different. It's not like here in Lubbock where you see new development all the time. Apparently, like in places in Colorado, apparently they don't really focus too much on building. That's what someone had told me.
Well, I know that Denver is really focused on conserving a lot of the historical places because there's, I mean, the gold rush there, like the Capitol was built then. They have the governor's mansion that was, you know, they preserve those spots. And then Boulder's really bougie. And like people,
Yeah.
it's so, I mean, I really did never go to Boulder.
Why you gotta say it like that with
Because
the
that's how it
Boulder?
I mean, it would be fun. Like we would go.
Oh, if you listen to Joey Diaz talking about living there, he said, "Oh, that's where all the rich people live."
Yeah, it is.
And they got the ski resort and all that.
You
shit
have
over there?
your fun. Like we went to a string cheese concert there, and that was pretty fun. They're like bluegrass, so there's tons of hippies there,
love
but they're like
cheese.
rich hippies, you know. So I don't know. It's
Hey, that's what he said. There's, the real
But
hippies live there.
yeah. Well, they're I don't know.
That's what he said. I don't know. This is like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Boulder's beautiful though, and I think that you know it's a mountainy town, so they don't really have room to push out and develop. Maybe.
Yeah, true.
But I know Denver in general is developing in a ton of new building. I remember, I'm Cuban, so we would go to Miami a ton.
That's what
growing
Joey
up.
Diaz.
What was that?
Oh, sorry, nothing.
We would go to Miami a ton, and I remember my abuela always saying like the cranes building the skyline because Miami's always moving, always building. And within the past couple years, I've seen that in Denver too. And I remember when the skyline in Denver, the downtown Denver buildings was like 5 or 6 buildings. And now it's huge. You know, there's tons of skyscrapers and just tons of buildings.
That's how
So
it is in Austin too. I don't know if you ever.
Man, don't be mentioning that city around me. No, I'm just kidding.
I haven't been. We haven't really done any. I've been to Dallas. My husband worked outside of Dallas and McKinney for a while, so we did like the JFK Museum and that kind of touristy stuff for like a week. But downtown Dallas was really similar to Denver. How it was like the stadium and then the Six Flags is like right next to each other. So that was kind of interesting.
That's where Meow Wolf is, right next to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's pretty cool little
I
area.
haven't been. I mean, we started moving here kind of when they started construction and then COVID.
What made you move here?
Well, I had like an investment property in Denver, my condo from before I was married, and it was hard being a landlord. We had just a ton of shady people, and I was like, well, let's invest somewhere else. And we just started looking around like where we could get the most bang for our buck. And here in Lubbock, the houses were beautiful, and I was like, well, maybe we could move to Texas. My husband was like, I have a list of reasons why I'd never live in Texas.
Well, I'll be damn.
And then we're here, but he worked here in Dallas. He hated it. He hated Texas. I mean, he hated everything about it. And then here we are.
If you're listening.
I'm seeing a lot, of course, Cali plates, but I'm seeing
Yeah.
a lot of Oregon and Colorado plates here.
Yeah. Well, my neighbor's from Oregon. Her and her husband moved out.
Oh, we
here.
met some guys from Texas at Slashers, and they said everybody goes from California to Texas, Texas to Colorado.
There's like this
Or it's like a
migration.
triangle.
Well, when you're in Denver, when you're driving on the highway, if you see Texas plates, you like avoid them because Texas drivers can't drive at all. I'm sorry, it's so true.
Those do the
I'm a
zoomies in
Texas driver.
Colorado.
But yeah, I mean, you definitely do see like Texas, Cali, a ton of that in Denver, and then here I've noticed a lot of like the Colorado plates too.
Yeah.
And our neighbors from Oregon, I've met a couple of people from Oregon. It's weird. I wonder what encourages that.
It's cheap here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely our reason. And then, you know, it's more family friendly for sure. So,
Shout out to Colorado, though. I think I'd live in Colorado Springs. I like that place.
I think I would like to visit like
Pretty.
there or like Aspen or just like somewhere.
Isn't
to
Aspen
just-
even more like for the rich than?
yeah,
than
that's very expensive.
Really?
That's like
That's where James
that's where
Hetfield
the celebrities
lives.
go. Yeah.
I
where
just
James
want to be
Hetfield- that's where,
somewhere
the
where I can
Kardashians
just like
have a place.
chill in an Airbnb, and that's all I can
Yeah.
do.
Well, there's a lot
Because
of
like
places
Denver
to
was
go.
just too much
Oh
city
no, it's
for
Vail.
me.
It's Vail, Colorado.
Like I love the
Vail and
city
Aspen
life.
and all
That
that.
It
was
was just.
bougie too.
It was. I wish I was like somewhere just more secluded out there
Yeah.
because it was so pretty.
We have property
state
in the
is beautiful.
mountains out there. We have 3 acres, but we have no plumbing. We have no electricity out there. So we go
Homesteading out there, huh?
Literally, I love it
Wow.
though. I will never build out there. I'll keep it that way. Like just go hardcore camping. And I tell my kids that too. Like this is real camping, because it's fun. And the mountains. Oh my gosh.
Till a
just
mountain
being out in
lion
the
eats you.
outdoors. Huh?
Till
I wouldn't know because we didn't get to go hiking.
a mountain lion eats you.
Yeah. We have spray for that.
Have you guys been to Pagosa Springs? I'm sure you have.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
It's nice. Just
So pretty.
very chill.
I mean,
I got
that's
a-
Colorado in general. It's just so
I got a Pagosa Springs shirt.
scenic.
Nice.
I don't even smoke weed or anything. It has it says that and it's like a joint in his hand or something. I haven't worn that shirt in a long time. What?
So we're working on that.
I don't know, man.
He always gets me. He's always like, "Can I hit it?"
Dude, if I hit that, I'd die. I would be no bueno. That of all things, like to go from nothing to that.
You are
Fuck.
Jink.
Oh no way. A shout out to the Colorado. You were gonna go there almost Colorado. You choose all the worst schools.
For my undergrad, I got my.
You choose the worst schools. You know that?
Well, for grad school, I told you, of course, UT's my number one, but my second is either the University of Utah or the University of Colorado if I can get in. So
It's nice. It's a good
Yeah.
college. That's something I'm really getting used to here too. Is like I'm a huge Bronco fan, and
Oh, you guys beat us. Damn it. Never mind.
We
Damn it.
really beat y'all.
Fuck, never
Really,
mind. I don't know why I
You
said
wanna
that.
talk? We can talk.
I don't know why I said that. Hey, Teddy Bridgewater is my quarterback on fantasy football, so I
I
can't.
don't play fantasy, but yeah, no, I'm getting used to like that college, like Texas Tech runs this city. Like we don't even go out on the food truck
You damn
if
right.
there's a Tech game, because why? Nobody's gonna, they're all at the Tech game. But I like it. It's really cool to see that. But in Denver, it's really different. We're about our pro teams.
yeah,
Just like they are about Tech out here. But you can see on a Denver Bronco game day, everybody's in orange and blue.
there was a time when, of course, it was when Peyton Manning was.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of Denver Bronco fans here.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I
Look,
heard
Mexicans
that.
are a lot. They like the Broncos. They like the Cowboys and like the 49ers.
Well, I
Mexicans
heard
do.
everybody's like a bandwagon fan. So if there's players that are from Tech in the Super Bowl, that's who.
Well, hell yeah, I like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, see, I'm not a bandwagon fan. So I can't relate. I like just win, lose, or die. Like we're Bronco fans.
But what's
So
funny is Cliff Kingsbury, he coached for Tech. He's now the coach of the Arizona Cardinals, and no one roots for the Arizona Cardinals.
I do.
That's funny. Oh,
Yeah, dude. Well, that's because I used to live there.
Well, you
So.
never
Roy
see
said
him
that's
in
my
Arizona
team.
Cardinals.
wait, what about me?
Well, yeah, I do.
He must
It's
have-
okay.
I'm trying to go to that game. I'm trying to go to a game. They played them. Yeah, I've been to a few games over there. It's fun.
Arizona's nice too.
But I feel you. If they go, if
I
they
would
went to
love to
Tech.
visit Arizona.
That's the Wild West over there.
Those
It's
fucking
hot.
people talk about Texas. That place is crazy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I feel like
Oh,
we're
yeah.
the Wild West.
When we were
Yeah, definitely. There's like literally, what are those things?
You think this is
called?
Trump Nation? That's
Like,
Trump Nation.
hey.
Like galore
Wait,
over there.
those-
Tumbleweed?
No. Oh yeah, that
Tumbleweeds?
tumbleweeds. They're all over here.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I forgot that's like not even like a normal thing. Huh?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
shit.
It's like culture shock out here because I'm so used to seeing the mountains and just living in the city, and out here I'm like driving, not even a mile, and I'm like, oh, we're in the country. There's cotton fields and cows out
Yeah.
here.
I do Christmas lights. I was like on a 2-story building. You can see clear across town in
Yeah.
a 2-story building.
I enjoy that though. That is kind of, it's definitely different because in the mountains, that's it. That's all you see. And I lived in Virginia for a long time where it was right on the beach, and I love sitting at the
Myrtle
beach.
Beach?
No, Virginia Beach.
Oh.
But you could see infinitely, and I love that. And then when I moved back to Colorado, I was like, oh, I feel limited with the mountains. So I do enjoy the open sky out here. There's like one highway part that goes up high, and I'm like, wow, you can see all of Lubbock.
The Marshall Sharp?
I think so, yeah.
Lubbock is honestly like like an empty level of like Minecraft. It's just like a empty like simulation.
We get it, man. You don't like Lubbock, dude. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
You like Austin, dude. Okay.
I mean, we have nice sunsets. I give them that.
Yeah, I like it here. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, everything's been pretty cool.
That's a
Sorry.
Or I was gonna say that's a good thing about Lubbock is you could really here at least. I mean, you could start something small and just build on top of it. And keep
Yeah.
your-
Yeah.
Hell yeah, buddy.
The opportunity is phenomenal.
That's what both of y'all are doing, huh?
Yep.
Yep.
All day.
Yeah.
Did you bring the food truck here, or is that?
No, so we just moved here in February, and when I came here, I was like, there's no Cuban food here at all.
Oh.
And it was kind of right when Bubba 33 and then Uncle Hulu's were opening up. And I saw people were waiting in line for like 3 hours to go eat. And I was like, they don't do that.
I guess that's
These
a cool,
people like to eat out
that's
here.
one of the things about like the small, like it being small, like they like everybody likes to new shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Kinda like it's like a big
I
hype.
noticed that though, and I was like, wow, that's crazy over some restaurants.
There was a lot of restaurants here,
We do have the
We have the
most fast
most-
food restaurants per capita.
and we still don't know where to eat sometimes. We still don't know where to eat sometimes.
You can eat at one restaurant every day for an
Mhm.
entire year in Lubbock and not eat at all.
We should do that
That's
challenge. We should do
crazy.
that as a challenge.
There's so many restaurants here. There's like
That's
a
a lot of
restaurant
money.
and a church on every corner.
Yeah,
And
no
it's
lie.
true. But yeah, we just
Wow.
we saw there wasn't Cuban food, and I was like, oh,
It's not a lot
people
of.
would freak out.
Every
over here.
brown person here is pretty much Mexican almost.
Yeah, literally.
It's all
And
Mexicans.
the Cuban is so different than the Mexican. So we started selling empanadas at the farmer's market.
Nice.
Farmer's market. And it took off. Like, everybody was so in love with it. And the lady that owns it over there, she was like, hey, there's this Cuban food truck in town, and they're selling it. And I was like, oh, okay. Because we did so well. And I was like, maybe this can get going. And we went, and the owners, they weren't Cuban, but they loved the Cuban sandwich, and they had their own version of it, and they did really well. But I was like, I want to make it authentically Cuban, like straight up, Miami vibes. So we got the food truck, and it's been fun. We definitely do like a lot of different foods. So we do the empanadas. We kept the Cuban sandwich, but I made it like my grandfather's mojo recipe. And then we do like the fried plantains and croquettes and like all these different foods. So people have been going crazy over it.
It's
It's fun.
so good if you guys have not.
We gotta try both of y'all's.
Yeah.
So for both of y'all, this is both of y'all's question. Do y'all have like immigrant parents, immigrant grandparents? Where's the food? That's what I was asking.
I didn't
Where's
even
the
wear
food
this
inspiration
purple
coming from? Is it from your family?
A lot, yes. My dad is from the Philippines, but he's Chinese. And so I grew up every single Sunday we had Filipino food. Like, there was no question. Like, on Sundays, we only had Filipino food. So by the time I graduated high school, I was like, I am done with the dough.
So what is he? Why did he go to the Philippines?
He was born and raised there. So
Oh.
his great grandmother was alive in the time where you didn't want to have a daughter as your first child. So she was born first. They were going to give her up for adoption. One of her aunts couldn't have children, so they took her and they moved to the Philippines just so they like wouldn't be looked down upon for having a daughter as their only child or oldest child.
Okay.
Yeah, so they moved to the Philippines. I, honestly, like, we don't even know when. I guess my dad might know, but I don't know when they immigrated to the Philippines.
Wow.
So yeah, born and raised there, and then he moved to the States when he was like 21 years old.
Do you
Wow.
speak? What is it?
No, nothing.
Ma-
Tagalog.
Tagalog.
My dad speaks Mandarin, Cantonese, and Tagalog, and
Shit.
taught us nothing.
That's great.
What was his?
But it was also, it was like late 80s, early 90s, and he was like, they don't need to know. Like, I feel like now he probably didn't want us to know because he didn't want other people to know that we were like biracial children. And so, yeah, nothing. I wish I did.
You're half. What are you?
So half Chinese, and honestly, we don't even know. My grandpa was adopted. His like birth certificate says he's Chinese, but there's no telling like where in China he's actually from. So we don't know about that. And then my mom is mostly white, and we have a lot of Native American in our family.
Cool.
So yeah, just.
Was his journey here like? Was it difficult or was it easy?
I think it was pretty easy because he's in the medical field.
Oh,
So
okay.
He moved to California first, and I have an uncle that lives here in Lubbock. He's like one of 15 family members we have in the entire United States. And he was like, there's a lot of opportunity out here. He was a doctor at Covenant for a really, really long time, and told my dad there's a lot of opportunity here in West Texas. My dad was like, okay, I'll go there. And then his cousin moved here, and is still in high school, my cousin. And my dad became his legal guardian, and they moved to Seminole because I guess like public schooling here wasn't that great in the 80s. So they took him to Seminole, and he went to school there. And my dad's cousin and my mom's cousin became friends at school, and they were like, oh, you should be my cousin. And that's how my parents met. Because my mom was like born and raised Seminole.
You said he didn't teach y'all any language. Do you think that's because he was trying to assimilate into like?
Oh, for sure. He
'Cause
wanted,
I've
he
heard-
wanted to be American.
No, I've heard from like
Yeah.
my stepdad's dad, like, and I hate saying it this way, but he wanted to be white. You know, that's what they
Yeah.
wanted to do.
I
They
don't-
wanted to be white.
I don't necessarily think that he like has ever wanted to be white, but like
Or you act white.
American
Almost.
dream.
You
Like,
almost like act that way.
and also like being Chinese, like you didn't want people to know, like most of the time, they're going to be jerks to you, especially out here in this area. In California, he probably would have been okay. But I mean, even in high school, like he had to go be what is it called? in a courtroom. They asked him questions about like a drunk no, it was for drunk driving,
jury
and he drew the blood for somebody. He was like a witness, like a
like Teresa
Go. 2 words. And people were like, "Well, your education is from another country. Like, how can we trust that you know what you're talking about?"
Yeah.
So like even like I was in high school when they asked him that, and so I think that's mostly why like he didn't want us to have any like racist things done against us or told to us. So he like wanted us to be as American, not necessarily white, but as American as possible.
And you learn. Did your like journey with food start with eating like that kind of?
For sure, yeah. I mean, I had tons of friends who'd come over to my house and they'd be like, "What is this?" Like they're used to having like macaroni, cheese, and steak or chicken, you know. And at our house, we're having like pancit and noodles and ginatuan and like
what are these things?
True Filipino food.
Can you look up Filipino just to see what Google says? So what are these things that you're saying here?
Pancit, Pansit. It's like traditional Filipino noodles.
What was it again?
Slow down.
Pansit. Pancit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pancit. Oh, see, I was wrong. I said S. So it's just like those little clear, thin rice noodles. Every household makes it differently. You put different vegetables in it. Some people put seafood in it.
That's the thing, growing up in Denver, it's super diverse. So I've always been exposed to so much food, and here in Texas, I'm like, steak and Tex-Mex.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's why like food trucks are so popular and why just like restaurants are so
They're getting
popular.
there, yeah, for sure.
Because it's just like we're starting to get those the variety and like just like the eclectic foods. You know what I mean?
What is there any Filipino restaurants here?
Yeah, so there's Linda's Cafe, and it's ran by 2 little Filipino ladies. They're super cool and they're so sweet. And they've been open for a long time. Like we have there's a big Phil-Am community in Lubbock. And so we have huge like Filipino American parties, like Christmas parties at like the Civic Center. So there's like tons of Filipino people. Yeah, it's cool. And then like my aunt and uncle, they always have a Christmas party at their house. So you'll run into all those people and then you see them around town and you know them. Like when I moved to Lubbock, I knew a lot of older Filipino people, and the 2 ladies that run Linda's are some of the people that I've known since I was like in 5th grade, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
With Filipino food, is there a lot of Spanish influence?
A lot.
I was just about to say that if my history is correct,
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah, Spain ruled the Philippines for a really long time. So like my grandfather's name is Jose. So lots of Spanish,
A lot of Catholic people.
tons of Catholic churches. Even the Filipino language, Tagalog, a lot of words are Spanish words.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
There
like
were a lot of
trabajos, both work. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh shit!
Zapatos,
I could
shoes.
speak.
That's how my dad out here. He knows a lot of Spanish and he can like help with patients who speak Spanish just because of Tagalog. But he's not like fluent in it. You
I'm
know?
just gonna get it.
Oh.
So cool. I didn't know that.
There were a lot of Filipino kids that I grew up with.
Here,
All my life, I thought they were Mexican, but they weren't. They were Filipino.
yeah. Growing up, most people thought I was Mexican. I was like way darker complected growing
I
up.
thought you were
I
Mexican.
thought you were Mexican.
Yeah.
I thought you were too.
Yeah. Always. If I go to like bigger cities, a lot of people are like, "Are you Asian?" I'm like, yeah. How'd you know? And they're like,
Thank
I can
you.
just tell. But yeah, out here, nobody ever knows.
I would have thought you were Mexican too, to be honest.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
It's like a big thing with Latinos though. Like
Yeah,
don't
they do,
confuse
yeah.
like the Cuban or Dominican or even like Cuban and Puerto Rican or
Don't the
Mexicano.
Puerto Rican. Jeez, I've gotten it from a Puerto Rican before. I know what you're saying.
Mhm.
I've got Cubans over here, but Puerto Ricans, I have not met a single one.
There's a lot
Actually,
of Puerto Ricans out here, and
There's
there's
a
very
lot.
few Cuban.
The boys at Little Woodrow's, they came to the food truck
Yeah,
and they were all Puerto Rican, and I was like, "All of you?" And they were like, "Yeah."
there's a ton of
It's like,
Puerto
okay,
Ricans
cool.
out here. It's crazy.
It's cute.
There's not many Cubans.
God forbid you
at all.
call them Mexicans. Jesus Christ, I'm
Don't
telling
do
you right now.
that.
I don't take offense to it. Growing up,
Spanish people
all my
they were
best
like,
all my best friends were Mexican growing up. So I was like, their moms were my mom, so I love the Mexican culture.
I'm married to a Mexican, and I had like a huge. When we first got together, I'd be like, "No, we're so different. Like, don't even. We're not the same at all." And he's like, "Bro, we both eat beans, okay?" So, and now I'm like, whatever.
What are some of the similarities in the food? Would you say?
There's not many.
No?
Actually. I mean, we do eat rice and beans, but the Cubano.
I mean, it's like different regions too, though. Like, cause like you said, like that's a little bit more tropical. Like Cuban,
Absolutely.
like it's
Yeah,
island,
It's an island.
and it's different than like here.
And
like you're saying, it's
Cuba's
beef.
like really poor too, so they don't do a lot of steak or like those kind of dishes. A ton of pork, a ton of pig, because that's all they can really afford. And then like our beans though, we use black beans instead of like pinto beans.
Of course.
And
No,
then
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just throwing jokes at.
but yeah, I mean, my husband, he's out here, I don't really cook that much Mexican food, so he's losing his spice because I don't make spicy food, and that's a huge difference between Cuban food and Mexican food. Is Cuban food is not spicy at all, but we use a lot of garlic, a lot of citrus tones, so it's a lot of flavor versus like the
heat.
spiciness. Yeah. So
Okay. We can see.
there's a lot of differences. I mean, Cubans don't really use tortillas. We use bread instead. We have Cuban bread, which is very authentic to Cuba. Cuban cuisine's phenomenal. I mean, I'm
I don't think I've really ever had it. That's why I'm
It's so
trying to imagine
different.
it. Have you had it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we do a ton of dishes that are just like very simple, but just really good, really, really flavorful, yummy, colorful food. I love taking pictures of the food because it's like, it's
Bright, yeah.
colorful. Yeah.
Do you have an Instagram? Can
Do
we
you
get
have an
yours?
Instagram? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. We
We have a hive mind. We think alike.
Llano Cubano.
Let's see how he spells it. Oh, you got it.
He got it.
But yeah, we haven't even really brought out like
Parker
the
Farrelly
Cuban
follows
food
you.
like that. We just really do the Cuban sandwiches because the food truck is somewhat limiting on how I can serve everything.
Can you give me a Cuban cigar? I've been wanting one of those so
Yeah,
bad.
they're illegal here, but we have them.
Well, no, I won't. I don't care. Oh,
Have you by chance seen Chef?
Yes.
Of course.
I just saw that movie like recently since I've had the food truck. So I work for a medical practice, and my boss was like, they know I'm getting that I have the food truck and everything, and they were like, you have to watch this movie. I was like, okay, I don't have Netflix, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna buy it. And then I kind of was googling it and everything, and I really like Sofia Vergara. I think that's how you say it. She's so funny, so I was like, okay, we'll get it. So we got it, and I was like, this is my life.
She's Puerto Rican, isn't she?
It's such a sweet movie.
No,
Oh,
Sophia.
she not?
No, I don't know what she is. I think she's Mexican. But-
Shout out to Ana de Armas. I think that's how you say her name. She's Cuban.
Yeah, we just did like a little for Hispanic Heritage Month. I featured some of the Cuban people that are well known on our Instagram and Facebook page.
You also have the
So-
event coming up this week, right? Is it this week?
Yes.
Yeah.
So speaking of Cuba and immigrant and everything, so today is a very, very monumental day in Cuba.
Is it Independence Day?
No.
Oh.
So nobody knows what's going on, and it's so sad because the media is not talking about it at all
I know
whatsoever.
just a little bit. One of my friends is dating a girl that's Cuban,
Mm-hmm.
and so they've been going to every event and posting everything. So I
so-
just
Yes.
know through
So
them.
crazy. Look up the hashtag 15N. But so Cuba is under a dictator, and they have
The
been
Castros.
for about 60 years, and that's when my grandfather came over, was when all that was going on. But
No way.
so the people on the island have been so fed up, and we just had our cousin get over here like a month ago, and he was telling us how it was like they didn't even have, he hadn't had an egg in his refrigerator. You wouldn't mind that, but for over like 2 months they didn't, because they ration all of their food. They have a curfew. They can't go out.
So it's pretty
after a
bad
certain
over
time.
there?
It's horrible. They control everything. And people are like, oh, it's free healthcare. It's free food. Like everything, everybody's equal, which everybody is equal out there.
That's what they say in a communist rule.
But yeah, exactly. So the Cuban people back in July, they took to the streets and they started protesting against their government, which is crazy because they're not armed. I mean, the government controls everything about them. So they're just going out because they're so fed up. So today they did a follow-up.
Just look up Cuba. Just see if Cuba pulls up.
What was the hashtag?
Hashtag 15N, because for November 15th.
15 in Cuba right there.
Yeah. And the Cubans went out again today, but they actually there's known activists that live in Cuba, and they had police at their doors this morning, so they couldn't leave their house. So there's people like protesting, and they don't have internet access on the island. the government controls absolutely everything. So you want to talk about cancel culture
It's
here?
like China, man.
Please tell her. Please tell her. Say what you're about to say.
What?
Cancel culture here.
I mean, you want to talk about that
Yeah.
here? Like that's how it is, and that's where we're heading to. Honestly, if people want to continue to like accept these things,
Yeah, you hear that, people?
It's
Jesus
scary.
Christ.
Coming from a Cuban, I mean, you know, being an immigrant, you don't know
Sorry.
how good you have it here in America. But yeah, so they went out today, and there's no media coverage. There's not really anything going on. But we're doing we did a rally back in July and supported them just to echo their cries. There were tons of rallies all over America, all over the world, and in big cities. So I saw in Denver, I was like, you know, my dad's out there, everybody's out on the streets with their flags, and I was like, where's Lubbock at? And it wasn't happening. So I went and pulled the permit to go stand in front of the Tim Cole thing. And then we're going to do that again on this Saturday, just to go show support for the Cuban people that they're just not being heard.
Is there a big Cuban population in Denver?
Yeah.
In Denver.
Denver's diverse in general. I mean, I think every population is represented there. Every race is represented. I mean, there's tons
I know
of
people are going to think this is
Ethiopians
weird, but this was the first time I ever seen a Jewish, like the way they, like, you know what I'm saying? That was in Denver was the first time I ever seen
really?
a Jewish person, like,
Wow.
Like I said,
in there. Yeah.
curls.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
first time. We were at the Botanical Gardens.
Uh-huh.
I was
There's a
like,
really
oh,
big
yeah.
Jewish community, like kind of in City Park area. They have like their kosher stores and everything there. But yeah, I think everybody's represented there. So that's why there's always a ton of activists and people out there. But there was a huge rally in Denver, and it's
Is that what
just
it's looking like right there?
Is that in Cuba?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
no, it
Yeah.
shouldn't. I
That
don't
said
think
police
so.
on the.
If it was in Cuba, the police would be murdering them because they're not allowing them to protest at all.
Another freedom.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying here in America. We have the right to protest, and that's a human right. And they're denying them their human right of protesting in Cuba.
Crazy.
A lot of people were saying it was because of their, you know, the lack of medicinal care and this and that, but they're just fed up. They're just over not, you know, it's a side hustle in Cuba to go stand in line because in order to get your daily ration, you have to stand in line and wait all day for a piece of chicken and a piece of bread and some milk. You know, that's all it is. So people have lives, so they hire other people to stand in line and wait for their ration.
And people want to complain about Starbucks lines here.
I
Jesus
know. I have to tell my
Any
No,
dad.
just kidding.
Any line.
Yeah.
A different
Yeah.
struggle, I guess. People live different lives, I guess. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's a real struggle, by the way.
And it's like 90 miles south here too. You know what I mean? It's so crazy. So
Is that how, like,
Miami? It's
is that how, like,
US?
people get here? Do they swim or do they have, like, makeshift boats? What is it?
I joke and say like my grandfather swam here basically, but like I have friends that came over on shrimp boats and makeshift rafts. I don't know if you guys remember when we were younger. Elian Gonzalez. I don't remember if that's his name. He was a young kid that made it here to America. He made it through the seas. I think his parents sent him, and there was this huge issue of like allowing him to stay here in America because he was an illegal immigrant or sending him back to Cuba. Oh my gosh, am I saying his name right? I wonder if I am. Let me look it up.
What happened to him?
He went back to Cuba and the government basically, in my opinion, like brainwashed him because he's happy to be a Cuban. And yeah, Elian Gonzalez. But I remember watching because they had it on the news and like the U.S. government went in with their guns and stuff and got like this little 6-year-old boy out of the closet, and, like just all crazy.
Cuban boy in custody.
Yeah, he was so young. So my family followed it because we were Cuban, and you know it was apparent to us. But yeah, that was. I mean, look at that! Oh my god,
That's the U.S. government doing that?
Mhm. Yep, because
Oh, damn.
they were sending him back to Cuba because he was here illegally. So yeah. And I can definitely echo like my grandfather didn't teach my dad Spanish either. Remember when he came over here and he had such a hard time learning English? He, started out in Florida and then he went to New York, and he always tells the story how he was like ordering water. He was learning how to go to a restaurant and order his food. So he was like telling the waitress, "Can I have a water?" She's like, "What?" Couldn't understand his accent. And she's like, "Oh, you need a water." So he was always saying like it was so hard to learn.
Friend.
But yeah, I mean, and then he worked so hard to get here to America that he raised us very American because he was proud to be here. I mean, he ended up in Colorado, and he was such a cowboy, like big belt buckles, and he was all into that culture, like America. So, but yeah, I mean, we feel that too. I do speak Spanish just because I've been around it so much, and my husband, he came here when he was 11, so his first language was Spanish. And
He's from Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
And my in-laws are all Spanish speaking, so I've just been around it so much. But here in Texas, it's so weird because my husband will notice someone's really, really thick Spanish accent, and out of respect, he'll speak Spanish to them, and they'll still come back with English. Because I think there's something out here like...
I grew up with one of my best friends our whole lives. We knew each other, I mean, from being 4 years old, before even kindergarten. The day of graduation, her grandma was talking to her and hugging her, and she starts speaking like perfect Spanish to her grandma. And we were like,
You speak Spanish?
You speak Spanish? And she goes, yeah. We're like,
that's crazy.
Why don't, like, you literally never speak it in front of any of us. Like, in Spanish
I never hear
class,
my parents speak it, and they both know it.
That's not how
It's
it is
weird. It's like for whatever reason,
crazy.
people get like embarrassed to speak
I think it is
it.
what it is.
It's like if I was more fluent, you
That's what
know.
I'm saying. I would never speak English.
But like people just have like this like natural embarrassment of just. But it's like it also kind of sucks because it's like now it's like a trend to be like Chicano or Latino, you know, to like be like strong in your culture, you know. But it's also it kind of sucks because it's just kind of like you were never proud to like speak your own language if you did know it, you know, and it was like a thing of like
shame.
Yeah, and it's so sad.
I think it's just our area that we live in.
I think
and
so
that
too.
we grew up in.
Yeah, because you go to Denver, I mean, and then even in Miami, I remember going out there as a young kid, and I was like, well, this is crazy because everything's in Spanish. Like the newspapers were in Spanish, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then going back to Denver, you know, within my growing up is when they started to introduce like the bilingual signs at Walmart, and they don't even have that out here, huh?
No, but I do notice it like when I
There's
go like
some
out of town.
bilingualness.
There's some, but like if you're in Dallas or like in Denver, I noticed it a lot, or just anywhere else I have noticed like there's like always like a Spanish translation or something bilingual or
I think it's roots back to this being like this was white before it was anything else.
Yeah.
This was built on a white culture before it was built on anything else. I think that's what it is.
I think so too. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
I observe. I definitely can see like a clear segregation.
I love white
here
people,
in
though.
Lubbock. It's crazy.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being from Denver, you know, it's just like I said before, everything's kind of like a little bit of a culture shock because
Well, yeah, this is also the South, kind of. So
yeah.
it
Well, I
is
mean, I
a little
spent
weird.
a lot of time
Canada.
in Virginia, and Virginia is like Confederate state and Commonwealth, and I mean, my siblings are half African American, so we definitely lived a lot there. But it's crazy out there too. But it's a different kind of crazy out here in Texas. But
Damn it, Texas.
I
Get your
like
shit
it.
together.
Well,
Hold on.
not that part, but Texas is good. It's all right.
My dad claims that he didn't teach us Spanish because he had like stories of like being made fun of, like growing up, having the accent. But the school that he went to, you know, back in the 60s and early 70s, they would get punished if they spoke Spanish or they brought like food that was Mexican culture.
Wow.
Yeah, they would get punished.
I feel like ESL classes were introduced like in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can imagine.
All right, well, I gotta go pee. So you guys keep the conversation up going while I go pee real quick. Oh, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You just keep on talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
So have you always just like been into food and cooking, or was it just until like recently when you were like, no, like Lubbock needs to know like this kind of
Well, I mean, growing up with the you know, the Cuban food, and always having that diverse food experience, definitely contributed to it. But I also was like a bartender and waitress. I had my daughter when I was 16, so I was always in the restaurants. Like I was always a waitress. I was always, you know, working hospitality jobs. So I've definitely been around food a ton. And it's funny because like I went through college and I manage a medical practice. It's like my normal job.
Mm-hmm.
And through college, I managed Subway restaurants. And I was always like, I'm never going to go back to making sandwiches. Like, I never want to work with food
Like
again.
once I'm out, fuck
Yeah.
this.
And here I am, like, literally making sandwiches again. So it wasn't ever, like, I hear people, they're like, oh, you know, always wanted to own a food truck. And it was never something that I wanted to do, but it was an opportunity that presented itself. And I've been super grateful to bring the culture to Lubbock and, you know, to represent.
Yeah.
And the food's really good, so it's fun.
How hard was it necessarily to like get a food truck, or like, or did you just kind of get lucky stumbling upon them?
I'm like a big believer that if something's meant to be, it will be.
Yeah.
And
I have a very good friend who wants to open a food truck, and I'm trying to give you some fucking information, girl. Okay.
well, tell her to come. I'm all for like helping other food trucks. I've had like 3 or 4 people that I've helped.
Like
fill out their
I've had
application.
dreams of this girl in a food truck, and she's like been talking about it for years. So I'm like,
Yeah.
little girl.
And I think right now is such a good time to get in here in Lubbock. So in Denver, the food truck scene is so established. Like they've been around forever. They shut down like the downtown Denver every Thursday and let the food trucks pull in there. And
That's why like
everybody
First
goes
Friday is so popular, and these like little like
Mhm.
events are so popular because like if you know a food truck's gonna be there, half the time I'm not gonna shop at the vendors. I want to go pull up for food.
And the experience, yeah. And that's how it is there, you know, the food truck.
You just popped
Yeah.
over. I was like, okay, we're.
But yeah, they're really diverse there too. So in Denver, you don't have 20 barbecue trucks and 20 taco trucks. You have Peruvian food, you have Ethiopian food, you have your Mexican food, you have your Mexican food.
restaurant.
Yeah, there's like
I want to try
tons.
that.
Ethiopian food is pretty good. But Indian food, I mean, there's everything there. And then the food trucks are respected. And I think out here, sometimes people are like, ew, like, don't work on a food truck or don't eat at a food truck. But
Mhm.
I guess
no, I mean, tell her to go for it because it's a good time to get in.
And
right now.
I have
If she
been-
has a good food and a good, like, sazon or like her, you know, if she's a good cook, I would definitely go for it.
She's, from what I've been told, it's more of like a dessert thing. You know what I mean? But I'm still like, dude, fuck it. Like,
No,
I would. My friend, she wants to open a food truck. I'm trying to call her out.
yeah, I mean, and it's fun too because
Amber.
she's on there.
Divine Nice?
Yeah, Amber.
Don't talk about it, me, but
We're speaking this into existence for you, okay? I have some fucking homies with food trucks.
you got 2 women, and there you go.
There you go. No more
And, you know,
excuses. No more
there's-
excuses.
There's several women-owned food trucks.
Really?
Yeah.
I do on my Facebook page because we just hit like 4,000 followers on the Facebook. I'm building up Instagram. I'm not cool enough for Instagram. I don't know. I'm working on it. But we post a Women Crush Wednesday. Every Wednesday I post other women-owned businesses
I love that.
just to
That's
promote.
pretty
Like
cool.
we need to know, you know, women can still do this. And then I don't just only do food trucks like we do a little bit of everybody. But there are several women-owned food trucks out here. Women just out here getting it.
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Even some of them that don't have food trucks yet, that just make food and like hustle food on the side or just at the farmers markets.
Yes.
Like at the
We need to go to that.
It's fun. It's
That'd be
really
cool.
fun. I know there's one, what is it, saffron and spice or
yeah,
something?
Indian food.
She doesn't have a food truck, but I think she works out of the Culinary Co-op.
Yep.
What's that
Another
called?
phenomenal company.
Saffron and spice.
Sounds
you
familiar.
order it on like Facebook or any of their, I think their social media. You can place orders and they'll tell you like, place orders today and tomorrow. We can deliver or you can pick up on Saturday or Friday, whatever the day is. But yeah, I've heard nothing but great things
Yeah,
about her
and
food.
that's Indian food.
Love any of
Nice.
it. Where'd you acquire the truck itself?
In San Antonio. It was made in Mexico. And then the guys, brought it to San Antonio and then we picked it up there. It was crazy. We picked it up. It was in a neighborhood, but it was an empty lot that just had a fence around it. And the guy sent us the address and we pulled up and
It was just there.
yeah,
It's like a shady
my
drug
partner
dealer in
and
your
my,
food
my
truck.
brother-in-law is my business partner. And so my brother-in-law and my my partner, we roll and we're like, this is weird. And he was like, cash.
Can you refer to me as honey when you refer to me
I know
as
that was sweet.
please? my honey?
my honey?
Well, you refer to me as Abraham Lincoln.
No. No.
I'm here for that.
We'll do it for you, Jen. We'll
Okay,
call you
thank you.
from here on out.
Thanks, honey.
I will say that the way food trucks has escalated within the last 10 years, because I remember growing up as a kid, like my dad, he does tile. So we were always out there, you know, working on these houses. And the food trucks that I grew up seeing were just these busted food
Like the
trucks.
lonche coming up to
Yeah.
be the
It's-
construction
Look, I
workers.
don't know people's ambitions and stuff like that, but it seems like money wise, just all around, there's not much space you take up. It just seems so much
It
easier.
is great.
It seems so much easier.
It's
Well,
really
I looked
nice.
at it like, you know, after COVID and everything, and I purchased the business after the pandemic. It's still because it's lucrative, and it was, you know, there's a very little overhead cost, and you're your own boss. It's like a creative outlet.
Do you all park y'all's food truck at your house?
Yep,
Oh,
it
yeah.
stays at our house.
Oh,
I store mine.
okay.
Eventually,
Do you ever get a little spooked out by doing that? Or you just like,
no, because it's in my sister and brother-in-law's backyard. Like we
Oh,
fixed
okay.
their fence, like it opens up all huge, and we back it in
Nice.
there every single night. Like it never sits out anywhere else.
yours is a trailer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a trailer too.
Trailer.
Yeah.
Hers is way bigger than ours, though.
I
Ours
guess
is
they're
only
all
20
trailers. I don't know why I said that.
Ours is 20 foot, but it's 16 foot with 4
Oh,
foot
yeah.
porch.
Well, mine is 8x16.
So I guess maybe we're just a foot wider because we're 7 by 20.
We've had farm. Were you here when we did farm to fork? You guys know
Makes a
farm to
difference.
fork, right?
Yeah, Scott.
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
You came on. I remember.
And Harrison.
That's a long time
Yeah.
ago.
They're
Can
so
you look that up,
nice.
please?
Yeah, nice. I'm actually doing a wedding with him this week. We're the two
farm to
food
fork.
trucks.
They're super cool. I
Yeah.
really like them.
Him and his dad.
Yeah,
That was
they
just-
store
That's
their
cool.
food
So
truck where
people
we're
can
at.
like have a food truck at their wedding.
That's
Yeah.
super
Oh, we
popular.
have-
That sounds like a good
I
idea.
have
Yeah.
2 weddings this week, back to back. One Friday, one Saturday.
What?
He came on the
Well, and it's
podcast.
cool because like some
I saw
people
that.
want like nice
They're
fancy
really
food
nice.
and like they'll hire servers to come out and the servers will come to the truck and they'll
And
take
get the foods.
in. Yeah. And so that's fun to do that. But like the 2 this week, they're like
Go to
we want
my
the
Instagram,
food
please,
truck
so we can see when
experience.
they
So,
did
like,
it.
they're just gonna come up to the window,
It's like food
order,
truck.
and it's just like we're doing our normal things, but
That's
it's like
perfect.
pre-paid for, and you're just like
Mhm.
handing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Wow.
events like this are ideal.
What's like the
That's awesome.
legal? Like, is it hard to get a permit for this shit?
Not anymore.
No.
It is. I just had to do everything, and it's like a lot of hoops to jump through. And I think they're making it more difficult, but that's good.
Did they make
In my
you
opinion.
refill out the paper, like the packet?
Yes.
So
I
it's
did
like-
not.
Now, why are you saying it's good that it's more difficult?
Because we are moving kitchens and we need to make sure that we're ensuring like the public's health. And I think that if it's too easy, people will just be in there like serving whatever. Like I take my food and my product very seriously. Like I don't ever recycle food. Like you will never have something on my food truck that's from the day before or
That's why
like
you want to
you know.
sell out because
Yeah,
you want everything to be
exactly.
fresh every time.
Yeah. So, you know, I do know of food trucks that are not the best.
Oh, definitely.
That would probably make you sick if you ate there. And that's not good. And that's my thing too. In Lubbock, it's a newer thing. The food trucks, we're working on everybody's reputation together. So my food truck represents her food truck, represents everyone's food truck. So if somebody's food truck is nasty, that customer may not ever want to eat at a food truck again because they had a bad experience. So I take it very seriously.
No, absolutely. I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, food in general. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, it's like it's my life, so I'm very serious about it.
Mhm.
When it comes to like cleanliness or, you know, like dating your stuff, like not everybody dates their stuff. I'm
Mhm.
sure that's on their trucks, but I do.
Like
Was
such a
being
day
out-
that you prepare it and everything.
Yeah.
Was being out in front of, was getting Little Woodrows, was that hard? Was that a difficult thing to do? That's like prime right there.
It is nice. Not really, because Jackie, that used to work at Flippers, works there now.
Oh.
And I actually didn't get in with her. Somebody that we went to high school with is married to one of the managers. And she reached out to somebody there. He's one of the owners, sorry. She's married to one of the owners of it. There's like 6 owners or something crazy.
Wow.
She reached out to the managers at Little Woodrow's and they contacted us and they're like, hey, so-and-so said, you guys have a food truck now. Can you come here? And we were like,
It was
we
them
can.
in the front, Urban Fix in the back.
No.
I tried Urban Fix for the first time this
I
Saturday.
still haven't had. Was it good?
God, I got the lobster mac.
It was delicious.
Whew.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I've heard really good things about them.
Yeah. They also have a Cubano sandwich that I'm
I think
curious
you like came
about.
for me on social media.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you met them?
No.
Oh, Oh,
Chris?
is that what the whole like never imitated or
Chris?
Yeah. I
damn.
swear. So I have a friend who's like,
he would
Actually,
do that.
my employee's
Is
like
he
his
the-
cousin or something.
Pink hair now, I think. That's Yosh's brother. Do you know that? You know Yosh?
See, that's what
That's
I'm
his
saying.
brother.
Small
That's his older
world.
brother.
Lubbock is too small.
Makes
That's his older brother, and the little brother works in there too.
I have things to say, but I'm not saying them.
Well,
It's awkward. Okay, cool.
say what you want. I don't care.
But it makes a lot of sense now.
They're all the same.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, I
It
didn't know
makes
that.
sense that I see him at Woodrow's now. 'Cause I used to never see him up there, and then he was there. I mean, I saw you guys too, but
Shout out to Little Woodrow's.
Little Woodrow.
I like we served there for the first time, and I am so new to Lubbock. I haven't even been anywhere, and I was like, "This is such a cute little bar. Like they have the swings and everything, and it was super fun."
it gets crazy out there.
Really, I always leave
It's
by
got a
like
little
9.
bad. It's got a little rough.
Yeah, after was there. What night did I see you guys?
Friday,
Friday
I
night.
think.
Saturday.
night.
After we took the truck home, like did dishes, and then I went back up there to have a few drinks. Like 2 fights broke out, and I was just like, "What is going on?"
Never
Oh, that's like a nightly thing in Denver. You get out at 2:00 and you just walk by people brawling. There was one night we walked
No.
out and we're like in the
Negative.
parking garage and there's like 2 fights going on, like a person peeing in the corner. Like it was
Well-
just like normal.
To put it nicely, Little Woodrow's has gotten a little ghetto, so I mean, it kind of can get a little crazy over there.
It's just like a huge variety of like cliquey people that hang out there, so it can get kind of weird.
Lubbock's really cliquey in general.
It is.
Even with the food trucks.
No, I noticed that like when you like the first time you reached out or you came by, and I was like, holy cow, she was so nice. And Braxton was like, yeah, no joke, because like not everybody that we met in the food truck world has been like inviting. They're like, oh, what kind of food do you make?
I know.
Where
I've
where
had
are you
several
from? How long
people,
have you been
like,
doing this.
Attack me. And then we had somebody like get so mad because we started that group.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, we just started it because we have questions.
Oh, boy.
We like, we want to share events and stuff, but they were like,
So funny.
There's hair drama in Lubbock. There's tattoo drama in Lubbock. And now there's food truck drama in Lubbock. Jesus Christ.
no, there's not.
No, I'm
There's
just
big
kidding. I
squashes
just-
on. We're all
just
chilling. We're all out here just doing our thing and just.
I just thought this was really weird. Can you scroll all the way down? I don't know why I thought this. It says meta now, man. That's fucking weird. I don't know why.
I know.
They all do now at the
Oh.
bottom.
Meta.
What is that? That's like the
It's
new
new
Facebook. Or something?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
Is it mind control or?
It's gonna
We're
be.
already there.
It's gonna be.
It's gonna be ready quick.
We'll all bow down to
Have
meta.
you like gone in
Ready
your car
Player
and
One?
Siri's like your destination? It like predicts where you're going. Have
Every
you seen that?
Thursday when I get to Alex and Braxton's house before we take the truck there, it immediately is like Little Woodrow's 5 minutes away, and I'm like, creep.
my
So
boss is
creepy.
my boss is older. He's in his 50s, and he freaks out about that because he's like, what the fuck? How does it know where I'm going? I'm like,
It is.
you
though.
speak too
We're
loud, dog. I don't know.
like, we're so accustomed to it or whatever. But I know my grandpa, when he had a flip phone, he would put it in the microwave at night. He's like, the government's
Hey,
listening to us, and I'm like, dude, you're
He
on
wasn't
something.
wrong.
No,
He wasn't wrong.
Yeah, they know everything. I mean, I'm not that interesting, so whatever they can.
Yeah, they can listen all night
Yeah.
long.
That's what I'm saying. What the fuck you want to know?
Yeah. It's crazy though.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have that event coming up, and it's a ton of food trucks.
That's
coming
crazy. I've
together,
never
and I'm
seen this
super
food truck.
excited.
Have you seen it, Jen?
They're
No,
new,
but
they're
I have
new.
an idea now with them.
Cali burrito.
They're really new.
Oh, for fools and ghouls
They're,
type thingy.
What's the
Yeah.
Put it out there, say
store
it.
they're at a lot.
They're usually at Cardinals.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a prime spot right there. Huh?
It's
Yeah.
cool though. He like sets up an actual like barbecue grill out front and like.
I've seen that.
Yep.
Okay,
They have,
Cool.
the
I have seen them
They
there.
have
Set
a
up.
bunch. They have so many staff members. Like everybody's there's one to take your order. There's one to give you your agua fresca. Like they're so
I
cool.
do like me a street taco.
Yeah,
I'll
they're
say
very
that.
good too. They have like all the Cali style churros. They do everything.
So how do
And
y'all
they're
pick
so
like?
nice.
How do y'all pick where y'all go? Like, if you want it, can you pick anywhere and let like the business will let you, or is there certain zones you can go?
So there are zones, but like most businesses that you've seen other food trucks out, like you can just reach out and be like, "Hey, do you have a day that I could come out?"
That's what I did when I took over the food truck, because the food truck that I have, they had a storefront. They rented out a storage unit, and they had seating on the inside, and they would just pull their food truck up in front, and that's where they
You're right
were.
there by
1585.
Did you say you're? Who'd you
Oh,
say you're
Unlucky
by?
Barber. Yeah.
You're right there by them.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
actually gonna open that storefront up again here in like a month. So I'm gonna have other food trucks
Very
go there
cool.
too
I do.
when
We'll
we're
do
not
it.
there. But they didn't go out that much. So when I took the food truck over, I was like cold calling businesses like, hey, I've seen you have food trucks here. I own this now. Can we come set up? And I had some people like the drug emporium. He was like, no, we're not doing food trucks anymore at all. They were like really picky because they've had bad experiences. I guess one food truck like beat up a manager of the actual or something. Like there's just been horror stories that I heard. So
always ruin it for somebody, huh?
That's why I take that reputation really seriously too. But
and like canceling on people, same. Like people would be like, we're not really sure. Like if you show up, we're gonna schedule you 3 times, and if you bail on us once, like we're never gonna ask you to do that again. And I'm like, no. If I say I'm gonna do something, like I'm going to do it. So cool. And so I think
it comes on the food truck side too, though. Like we've had people book us, and they're like, oh, there's gonna be 600 people at my event, or there's gonna be 1,000 people at my event, and like 3 people show up, and that's really hard for us because we're like, well,
we're all out here trying to make money, and our product goes bad. So
we started like, being more selective, or like charging a minimum or asking a minimum, and it's a lot of politics behind it, I guess. But once you get those good spots like Little Woodrow's, or you have like your regular spots, Two Docs is really supportive of the food truck community.
Yep.
Who was it? Mijos? I think that's
Mijos. Yeah. That's my girl, Jennifer.
She's gonna come on here.
Cool.
Really?
In December. Yeah, I saw her on Saturday.
She is crazy. She was like, one of the first food trucks that I met here, and I went up to her food truck and I was like, oh, I like her menu. Like, I wonder where she got it printed. And she looked at me and she's like, who are you? Like, why do you know about the menu? Like, she knew I was another food truck owner. And I told her, like, yeah, we just got Llano Cubano. And she's like, if you ever need anything, let me know. She was so nice. And that's why I was like, all right, I want to continue that spirit. I want to continue that vibe. So she's really fun. She's like tiny but mighty. Like that girl's crazy. Another female food truck owner. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Which one is this one?
Mijos.
Have y'all ever heard of Dos Hermanas?
Yeah.
Yeah. She has a good food truck.
Yeah, the lady that works with my husband sold her food truck.
The new one. Mm-hmm. We almost bought their old one.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm, when we were looking, and I went to her house and looked at it.
Yeah, they started one of the original food truck Facebook groups out here, because there's like JD's Barbecue, Dos Hermanas, Anderson's Grill. There were several food trucks that were like pioneers, because within the last decade, the food trucks have become legal and regulated here in Lubbock. It's a very new industry. So they pushed and paved the way for a lot of us to be able to be out here doing what we do.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen the McDonald's food truck?
No.
Man, why you gotta say that?
No, like there's a food truck that I've seen, and it's like actually McDonald's.
I don't know. I've never. No.
Bradley, don't take offense about this. No. But of course you know that.
On Broadway, it'll be out there. I think they do it for like special.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, that'd be pretty fire.
Yeah, like it's like
get a McDouble, like,
it's like
right down the street.
Like a custom.
It's not like they're everywhere
That's
already
so
though.
Weird.
But it's like
I've
McDonald's.
never seen that. I know United, the grocery store, has a food truck. Which is like weird to me, but
it's going corporate.
Yeah, I want to like franchise and like Llano Cubano everywhere.
There's some like dinner. I'm not dessert ones, right? Like shit like that, right?
Yeah, there's Frios is really big.
Cookies.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Curbside is really big, and then you have like Swigs and Sweets. You have a Delights ice cream. She does like healthy ice cream.
It's the Nitro.
Oh my gosh, Arctic N7. Yep. So it's funny because at my storage unit, everybody's at my storage unit. Like it's a food truck party. So we'll always see each other driving in and out. But their food truck came out, and I was like, this is so cool. They have these huge windows where you go pick your ingredients and they blend it, and then they freeze your ice cream with the nitrogen right in front of you.
Nice.
And it's like a science experiment. I was like, you guys are so cool. But then there's Nick's Shaved Ice is really cool.
This guy, he hasn't given up on this shit.
McDonald's
I'm trying to prove it to you.
I'm picking try.
I believe you. Hey, I believe you, dog. Look, that's smart.
It looks like that.
That one's smart because everybody likes coffee or whatever.
That's funny.
It's why.
So what's the goal for both of y'all's food? Like as far as this goes, like if the food truck were to be like so successful and so consistent, would you eventually open a restaurant, or would you like to keep it almost like this like remote kind of thing of it just being a food truck and it being like a specialty?
My 5-year goal is to have a bar that has a commercial kitchen
Mhm.
to where I can do more catering, because that's like what I really enjoy. And to where we can sit kind of how they used to do, Llano, just out in front. Like you still work out of the food truck, you always serve out of the truck, but I still have like a nice commercial kitchen to work out of. And then I'd like to have like a bar, but not like a bar, like a lounge. Like,
Nice.
I think when I first started doing like the Cuban food out here, I was like, okay, we'll eventually open up a brick and mortar restaurant. And having the food truck, it's so fun. Like I love being mobile and going to different events, and like it's always a party wherever we
It
are
never
because
gets
we're
boring,
always at
yeah.
events. So I love that aspect of it. So I feel like I want to open, and this is kind of the direction that we're going right now, is open like my business as Cafe Alvarez, which is what I started before I had Llano Cubano. And that will be, you know, the Cuban food, because I really think that Cuban food is best enjoyed sitting down.
Mhm.
When you have a big dinner, you sit with your friends and your family, you can try the different flavors, converse, you know, that's like an authentic meal to me, is having that conversation piece and that unity and that just experience. So that's a big goal of mine. But then I want to always have the food truck too, because
Yeah.
it's so fun. So I'll probably always keep Llano Cubano as a food truck and then do like a restaurant.
Is the food truck your like side business right now? Or do you have another job? Is that what you said earlier?
Mhm. Yeah, so I manage a medical practice.
Okay.
It's like my adult job, my normal job. I have 3 kids, so I gotta make it
That's
work. So.
okay. That's what pays the bills.
Yeah. Well, no, the food truck does really well, but yeah, the medical practice. I mean, I went to school for that, and
Okay.
I love my job. I love my bosses there, and I've been with them for years. So I don't know if I'll ever not work with them. During COVID, my job turned remote, so I'm able to like work still in
damn.
Colorado here in Texas. So it's amazing. I love it, and then it's flexible, so I can kind of like I'll be talking to like a patient on the food truck, like doing other things. So.
And this is your primary job
That is it now. Yep.
through yourself in it, huh?
Dude, it was now or never. It was towards the end of
You and your
COVID,
honey both?
It's actually my brother-in-law. That's my business.
Oh,
It's so
okay.
funny because when I went to their food truck, I was like, "Oh, you guys are like husband and wife," and they were like, "No."
Yeah, everybody's always like, "Oh, that's your husband." I'm like, "No, it's my brother-in-law." But we've been cooking together since the restaurant in Odessa. We worked together and we cooked together there. And he would always be like, "I'm gonna marry your sister." We also he's from Seminole too, so we've known him like our whole lives. And yeah, when I went to college, my first like 2 years of college, he'd be like, "I'm gonna marry your sister." I'm like, "Dude, shut up." And he sure as heck did.
Aw.
Her sister's in labor right now.
Right now.
Her baby sister.
My brother-in-law was gonna be here with me. It was gonna be us, and then
What?
I text Ashley today, and I was like,
See,
"Yo, would you wanna come?"
that
Like,
confused the hell out of me. You're like, my brother-in-law is with my sister and she's in labor, and I was like trying to like, well, what does that have to
you're
do
like,
with
who cares?
I thought I was like, because I thought your honey was the guy you did business with.
Yep.
So I was confused. I was like, what? Okay, cool. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, no. PD he works at the ski shop. He's one of the managers at Troy Ski Shop.
Shout out to what's her name? The skateboarding girl.
Oh yeah, the local
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, shout out to them though. They have
Hey,
skateboards.
girl.
They have skateboards at can you pull up?
Twisted.
Twisted
Twisted
skateboards.
Skateboards.
Yes, Twisted skateboards. Yep, she's local. Does all her own designs and stuff. It's very cool.
She's very cool. I really liked that podcast, even though I blanked on the name.
Twisted.
Twisted
You
skateboards.
got it. You got it. Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah, they have merch there. They got their skateboards.
baby
there.
sister's about to have a baby.
That is awesome. Congratulations. You're becoming a Thea.
Well, and she's not. She wasn't due until December 5th, and our
Oh.
event is December 5th. And so
Oh,
at our meeting 2 weeks ago, we were like, we don't know if we can come. Like, she's due on the 5th.
Oh
And
my
we're like,
gosh! And I was
is it
like,
her first baby?
She's
It's
coming
gonna be late.
Yeah, wrong.
And then this is literally our busiest week on the food truck that we've had like since we opened. And I was like, please, if you could just make it through next week, like that would be great.
Like if you could just.
And then
So
last
is it
night,
just you? What's I don't know your
Braxton is his
Braxton?
name.
I like was calling him Red or something.
No, that's what I call him. His red.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is it just you guys on the food truck?
Yeah, it's just us.
Wow.
One of our really close friends, he during COVID lost his job out at the airport, and so like he'll help us. He has like a side business. He makes jewelry and a bunch of other stuff. But if we have something big, like he'll always come help us. But yeah, it's just the two of us. That's it.
Wow.
it's crazy.
Just
So I guess like another question, like I do hair, so I'm always just kind of searching for like continued education. Do you guys ever plan on like sharpening your craft? Like, I guess like you're more like a home style, like just traditional Cuban food, you know what I mean? But like you with being like more like on the culinary side, do you ever think that you'll like, do you switch up your menu, or do you ever want to like change it up, or like almost like make it like more of like an eclectic menu, you know?
Yes. So ours is different almost every time we open.
That's so sick.
It's the best question.
I
I've
am
ever
like
asked.
a Taste Buds Food Co. fangirl. Like, I love their food truck so much because I've eaten there, I think, 2 or 3 times, and the food is phenomenal. Like, it's literally culinary
try it now.
talent. No, it's so good.
Food truck guests bring food.
I usually do. Sometimes I'll
we
be
were
like
planning on
empanadas.
it, and then my sister went into labor, and we were like, okay,
She ruined it.
God damn it.
So
Soiled it.
blame my nephew.
Darn you, baby.
So horrible.
Welcome to the world.
Yeah.
You'll be at Little Woodrow's this week, won't you?
We will be there Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Tomorrow I'll be at Star Comics for lunch, and or not tomorrow. Wednesday. I keep thinking today's
You ever
Tuesday.
go inside there?
In Star Comics, yeah, dude. Wednesdays.
I've been thinking about getting a comic book.
Wednesdays are new comic book day.
Yeah.
Every single Wednesday you gotta go.
Because
pick up
I
your
was
new
reading
comics.
manga for a little bit. I'm thinking about comic
Yeah,
books.
I
They have a
got
lot
into
of manga
Junji Ito.
though,
recently.
I want to do comics.
Yeah.
I'm a big Marvel fan.
Yeah,
Just
and
never-
and all the guys that work there, they're so awesome. Like,
It's addictive.
Maybe I'll hit y'all up for lunch
It can
then.
be.
Wednesday. You said
Yeah.
Wednesday in front of Star
Yeah.
Comics?
yeah, I'll
yeah,
be
of
there.
course you're gonna
for
go
lunch.
without me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing.
That's why we should go on Thursday. That's why we should go on Thursday. Whenever,
So Thursday we're
You
doing.
can go both
tacos,
days because it's
and
always
Wednesday, yeah,
But
Wednesday I'm
Thursday's
gonna have different
YMH.
food.
because of my job, I can't.
different. Thursday's YMH. We're not going to make it.
Oh, god damn it!
Yes, I'll just have to go.
What day? What hour? What are your hours on Wednesday?
11 to 2.
Fuck, see, because of my job, I can't do lunch.
Dude, just shoot me a message and I'll like put it in a to-go box so you can swing by
I'll
and
just
scoop
bring
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pick it up from me, and
Okay.
I'll eat it.
Okay.
Damn it! Yeah, I need to start getting the comic books. I'd throw that out there again. I've been thinking.
It can be addictive.
There's a few comic book stores here actually,
2 or 3.
and you
3 or
guys are
4.
bad at responding to messages. Let me just say that. So, I've been trying to get you guys on, but
It's Star Comics and Monsters Lair.
yeah, the one on University.
Well, now you have like
Monsters
connection
Lair.
here. So
Yeah.
it's not what
Yeah,
you know, it's who you know.
I'll tell the guys on Wednesday to look for a message from me.
Thank you.
It's your DMs.
Yeah, I tried to bail on them this week because we booked a second wedding, and I was like, we have 2 weddings. Why did I do this to myself? But it's just a lunch, so I was like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
What was your question like about? Oh, your menu is always changing.
So originally we started out wanting to just do hand pies and just do tons of different fillings. And we started doing that, and people were like,
Can you go to their
what's
Instagram taste
what's a hand pie? Like, what is that?
I was
What
about
do
to
you
ask what's a
mean?"
hand pie.
So it's like a,
like a fried pie?
I never heard about that.
It sounds so
Is it like the
fucking
things they sell
Sweeney
in Slayton?
Todd. It's very Sweeney Todd
it's
sounding.
like empanada-ish. I mean,
It's like a cherry
they make,
pie?
Yeah, on Sweeney Todd they do make them.
Oh
That's
shit.
hand pies, yeah.
There's
Put 'em.
like 3 different hand pie or fried
Yeah, so now
pie
like Plain
vendors out
Jane's
there.
does it, and
Yeah.
so we've kind of strayed away from
Nerd.
it just because we didn't want to be tied down to like,
Sweeney Todd
doing
is
one thing.
fucking sick. That's
My sister loves that shit.
good.
Um,
I just want to look through it.
yeah.
I
Please, sir.
love Taste Buds.
So we always
Instagram. I
have like
always,
some
scroll
sort
through
of
it, too.
grilled cheese.
Shout out to
Look how cute.
Taste Buds, the food
We did
truck,
that for
and
Love
Taste Buds, the
Ballet, so that's
podcast.
the king rat king from Nutcracker.
That's so cute.
Are those croissants?
So those are some of our
Theo Vaughn's a rat king.
Those are chicken pot pies.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Extra white dude, love you,
Oh, I
dog.
thought they were breakfast croissants.
Josh, he's so awesome.
Well, yeah, he is awesome.
Dude, he's always
I'll be sad
hyping
to see
us
him
up
go.
too. I know. There's all of us. That's a meeting we had a few weeks ago.
This is y'all?
Yeah.
That's all the food.
Yes,
well,
yes.
not
Hey,
all
there's
the
my
food.
girl. Oh, what's her name?
Jennifer. Yeah, we got outlaw egg rolls. He does like fusion egg rolls, so he has like
Yeah, Jen ate one of mine one time. I know
Oh, you
who
have
that
it.
is.
They're so
That was
fun.
literally like back in
And
July.
his
That's-
wife is so
And I'm
cute.
still mad.
She's
I know you are.
funny. She gets out and she's like, my grandson says that the grass is taller than me. There's
She's
Anderson's Grill, Bella J's food truck. They do pizza and gelato.
Pete's cooking.
There's Taste of Cali, Siam Foodie Cafe. She has Thai food.
And it's really good too.
Where are y'all at?
Now we're tacoing.
Now we taco in, yeah.
Because
Where's
he
that?
used to have a food truck and he has a brick and mortar right across from Tech.
He's in the bodega on Main and University, right on the corner.
Oh, okay.
Dos
Yeah, dude.
Hermanos used to be in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Nice.
Oh,
We're actually this next week for Thanksgiving. We're doing a free meal for anybody who needs Thanksgiving. We just took 11 turkeys up to Nelly Taco yesterday.
they're opening the doors of the restaurant for anybody.
You posted about that, didn't you? That's what I saw.
So cool.
Yeah. So yeah, Thursday from 6:30 to 8, we'll be serving food, just like traditional Thanksgiving plates to whoever needs a meal.
Damn.
That's
What's it,
awesome.
next Thursday?
Yeah, on Thanksgiving.
That's awesome.
Oh, no. Well, my family was going out of town. I wasn't going to have nowhere to go, but they're going to stay, so never mind.
So,
We're going to Colorado for
Nice.
Thanksgiving. I'm hoping that it won't snow or anything, but
It's already been snowing up there, hasn't it?
oh yeah,
I got a friend who lives up
a
there.
couple times. Yeah, and I'm out here like, oh, it's so cold. It's 50 degrees. Like my dad, I'm like, I'm a Texan now. My dad's like, it's 50.
Today was hot.
He's like out on
Yeah,
his
it was
Harley
hot
and
today.
50. I'm like,
great.
it's
Not
hot
on the
today.
roof, I tell you that.
Nice.
Can you keep going? Let's see some other pictures.
Oh, look at the food.
Yeah, I definitely love like that you guys can switch your food up because we're Cubans. So I can only do Cuban food, and there's a ton of different Cuban food.
The Cuban, is there like Cuban tacos or anything like that?
Not really.
No.
I mean, I do a Cuban taco if I have people that need like a gluten-free menu.
Yeah.
And I just use the mojo pork and do like cilantro and onion, but that's not a traditional Cuban dish. But
Do you
yeah.
have like anything for like dietary restrictions? Is that that's
so-
great terminology?
like most of the time on first Fridays, we try to cater to like the vegan community.
Okay.
We always try to have like some sort of vegetarian item on the menu. But really, it's just like whatever Braxton and I are like, that looks good or that sounds good. Or something's on sale at the store.
Mhm.
Obviously, we definitely go off of like
What do you shop?
prices.
HEB?
Anywhere, dude. We check like all the sales,
Jackson Brothers?
papers.
That's my grandpa. That's why I always got to say that.
Nice. I didn't know you were related to those guys.
Yeah, that's why I always got to say it. That's my David Hernandez is my grandpa,
Okay. Very cool.
and Gloria. Shout
Very
out to
cool.
them.
Very cool. Very cool.
When did you get them on the podcast? Speaking of which,
Yeah. So are you related to Jamie?
yeah, that's my uncle.
So Jamie is married to a girl that I went to high school with.
Jesus
Carrie.
Christ.
Yeah.
So small.
Do you? No, he doesn't work for them. Yeah, but Jamie. If you seen Jamie and my dad, you'd be like, yeah.
The same, yeah.
Yeah.
And Jamie was our pretty much our rep for Jackson Brothers, and then Chris was our U.S. Foods.
I was gonna ask if
So
you
it's
knew
the
Chris.
brothers, yeah, so,
Chris is married. His wife is my mom's best friend's sister. So it's like,
so
fucking
everybody.
yeah.
Yes.
shout out to Chris, man, if you're listening. I know that you are.
So, off of your food truck, what is your recommendation? As somebody who is just very,
As a Mexican
very
who
naive
doesn't like eggs.
to Cuban food, just very new to it.
I mean, our most
Introduce me.
popular seller is definitely the Cuban sandwich, which isn't even in Cuba. It's a Miami thing, but it's a very unique combination of food. So it's Cuban bread, pulled pork, ham, pickles, Swiss cheese, and mustard.
Mhm.
But it's a pressed sandwich, so everything melts together. Really good. The flavors all complement each other. So that's like our
So
yeah.
good.
That's like the best seller, but that's nothing like specific to my food truck. That's a Cuban sandwich.
Mhm.
I do my mojo is like my family's recipe, so that's what my meat is marinated in. But I would definitely recommend that. And then I don't know, we try to switch it up with our empanadas. Like I'll do different fillings in my empanadas.
You ever put pumpkin
sometimes.
filling in there?
Yeah. But that's not traditionally like Cuban either. That's
Oh.
more of a Mexicano thing to
Yeah,
do like
because
the
I like
fruit.
those. I've
Yeah,
had that
we do
before.
like meat. We do like chicken, and I'll do. There's a dish called ropa vieja, that's very popular Cuban dish, and it's shredded beef, but it's just so bomb. So we do that.
I had a empanada from Stripes, and it sounded as awful as it sounds because it fucked me up.
Oh no,
It fucked me up, man. I'll never do that again.
jeez, we
I
just
just had to throw that out there.
not like that.
That was bad.
We did do like a.
Do you have the green pig?
The green pig,
It's
yeah.
you should
What's
try it.
that?
It's good.
So it's a sandwich with chimichurri sauce. Have you ever had chimichurri?
No.
Look that up.
So we make our chimichurri in house every day. It's cilantro, parsley, garlic, red pepper flakes,
Okay,
extra
sounds
brown.
hard. Sounds great.
It's if you like cilantro, you like. If you don't like cilantro, I'm always like,
do.
you like.
Thankfully, I do have the gene where like cilantro
Yeah.
is the best.
Does it taste like soap
yeah.
to you?
Yeah, it's the best.
So I highly recommend that. That's like our second bestseller. Then we put caramelized onions and mozzarella cheese with the pork and the
Okay,
chimichurri.
so I'm gonna get a sandwich in the what?
the
The green pig.
green pig,
Green
Llano
pig
Cubano,
sandwich. So
yeah.
good.
And then
Now, is there a reason it's called green pig?
because it's green.
The chimichurri is green.
So he can look it up and we can like see what it.
Oh, that's like a Llano Cubano sandwich. So you,
Oh, go back to the gram.
yeah, I have it on there. We do a bunch of different stuff though, and then I've like experimented with.
Why are
like,
you yawning? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
With
Sorry.
You sleepy?
I am.
Are we boring you?
Girl.
Is that what we're
No. Okay, I'm a
Jesus.
sleepy. I'm a busy lady.
We're talking about food. How can you be bored from food? I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
And I had water
I
bread.
know this is not good looking at all this food. Yeah, we tried to do we did like a brisket empanada because we're in Texas. We have like a spicy.
Hey, shout out to
Cuban.
y'all.
Love that.
Damn,
Then
that sounds good.
We did a jalapeno popper sandwich. I mean, we've just done stuff to switch it up.
Do you ever mix like Mexican like influence in your stuff?
Definitely. We do a lot of like al pastor. We do al
My
pastor.
favorite.
Al pastor grilled cheeses have like been really
Wait,
popular. So we
what?
do
That's what I'm saying. Damn.
yeah, so we do pineapple and al pastor. We usually do like Munster or cheddar, and then we do it on.
Shout out
or,
Munster cheese.
Where do y'all get y'all's cheese from?
Sam's or HEB mostly. Yeah.
don't know
What did
why
I have?
said that.
The tacos that
You
y'all
said you
gave
didn't like
me?
cheese that much, right? No.
If it's like legit cheese, I'm not ordering. I don't want to get like government cheese.
Yeah, you don't want like that crap stuff.
Yeah, I don't want shit that's gonna fuck my like the empanada. I was just thinking. Who's? Oh, this is yours, a fried burrito. God,
that's
that
me
sounds so
still.
good. Do you ever eat? Do you ever make goat? Any sort of like goat meat?
So
I am a big fan of that.
We love goat too.
Oh, I have
My
goats.
brother-in-law's parents raise goats in Seminole, and so
Wow,
sometimes
I have
we'll
to
get like
one of those.
a whole goat, and we're like, we eat it, of course, but we've never done anything
If
on
you
the
ever,
truck.
can I have some of that? If you ever get one?
Yeah,
'Cause I
and if
wanna-
we ever cook it, we'll holler at you. Yeah,
No, I was just saying some of the meat so I could cook it.
so you can. Yeah,
Yeah, because I fucking love goat.
yeah. No, me too.
I've never had
I
goat.
would love to do like a goat grilled cheese, like some sort of just like stewed goat meat with goat cheese and some greens.
What does goat taste like?
I think it's
Delicious.
like most similar
Chicken.
to lamb a little bit.
Okay.
But it's definitely got its own thing going on.
I'm gonna try it. I've tried like deer meat, lamb, all that kind of stuff. I've never done goat though.
I'd be open to eating goat. I've tried lamb. I tried lamb really
Sweet.
recently, actually, like
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, and I
Where
was
at?
like
Did
crazy
you like it?
about it. The
No.
Mediterranean cafe.
Is there like a Euro spot here? And
I went to
Up the
that
street.
Mediterranean place down here on 50th.
Which one? There's I think
It's like the little
This one
blue
right
and
here
white
from
building.
Memphis.
Light Bite.
Yes.
Yes, I love say
yeah,
you need to go.
I love your
So,
like tzatziki sauce is my jam.
They have their gyro is great, their lamb gyro is great, but on Fridays they have a chicken shawarma. And we literally call it shawarma day in our family. And like my sister will want one, my brother-in-law, some of our friends. And so I'll go pick up from Sam. And we actually just went last Friday and I hadn't been in a while. And I walk in and he was like, "What did we do wrong?" And I was like, "Nothing. We just
They're
we've been
so
really
cute.
Are they
really
Greeks?
busy."
Yes.
Some little
And they're
Greeks?
like little old
Shout out to Georgia.
people.
They're so sweet.
That's
yeah.
cool. I
Like-
love like authentic places like
Behind
that.
the register, there's like a picture of,
Of them when they started.
Oh,
Yes.
God, and it's like you can tell it's just like an OG
Can you go to
thing.
the?
It's so
No, never-
cute.
never.
I love
They
that.
have
I
a little
doubt they-
store in the back. And then
Yeah.
they sell a lot of like frozen, just like Mediterranean items that you won't really
That's
find at
cool.
the other grocery stores. Yeah, they're sweet. They sell rice, like you can go like weigh your rice out. It's
Wow.
really sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have to go stop
It's
by.
really cool.
Have you had their lemonade?
No.
It's rose water lemonade and it is
Mm.
killer.
Ooh.
So,
I would like to go again because I was kind of like, ooh, this is very foreign to me. But I ate it and it was just and it was an acquired taste. The more I ate it, I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It was just so new, but I would like to try more.
yeah, the chicken shawarma on Fridays is where it's at.
I first tried Greek food in downtown Denver from a food truck. It was called the Pink Elephant.
Oh, nice.
And the food trucks line up at the let out, like the 2:00 bar let out, and everybody just goes food truck,
That's
food
how I,
truck.
What's that
that's how I
place?
wish it was here in
It
the
will be, I
depot.
think.
And that's like my dream is just to be like lined up all of his
Yeah.
trucks and it still be successful because obviously we've been at events where I'm like, oh, we have 1,000 people and there's 6 food trucks and we're all just like
Hey.
sitting there.
Find
chilling.
some good Greek food in Manitou Springs. I think that's what it's called. It's right
In
next
Colorado?
to yeah.
Oh yeah,
I've
Some
never
Greek
had
people.
Greek food.
I miss that.
That's where I had good lamb. It was good.
Yeah,
Are y'all pretty big on barbecue, like smoked brisket?
me.
Yeah.
Better answer carefully.
I get my no. I
Or you might be
straight
cut
up-
out of this whole podcast.
I get my brisket.
Just like a long bleep whenever she talks.
I'm just kidding.
I get my brisket from Mijo's. when I do a brisket empanada, I buy her brisket
Oh, nice.
because I
Nice.
respect barbecue. I think it's an art, and I am not that artist, so I don't even try. Like, I did
Barbecue up
attempt
there in
brisket,
Denver?
and then no, barbecue's not that big out
No.
there. It's not. I don't know what is big in Colorado. Like Colorado-y food.
Have you guys
Stoner
not-
food.
Breweries.
Yeah, that's what
Breweries.
That's very good.
I love
Fahrenheit
Colorado
42.
because they have like Voodoo Donuts. They have
We went there.
like the pizza places.
We
Like,
went
have
to
you had
the
Ian's
Burgers.
Pizza?
I didn't know they were known for their pizza.
Ian's Pizza is
She's
like
got some-
macaroni pizza, pastrami
Yeah.
pizza. Like, they just have all these crazy mixes. But I like Denver because they have like stoner food. So all these foods that you would never expect
Of
to
course.
be delicious are like combined there. There's a lot of fun places.
I had like one of the best burgers out there. It was like a burger with like an egg and
Where were
like
we at?
Is it Nirvana?
I don't know. No, Nirvana goes pretty hard, but this is like in Denver.
Are they a food truck?
Oh,
We
okay,
went to like a
okay.
bar
Yeah.
after Meow Wolf, and it was like a burger
Oh, this is
with
some
like an
random
egg
bar.
and like bacon and pico de gallo,
Oh,
and then like
yeah.
cojita cheese sprinkled on. Oh,
See, Denver though, like I definitely call myself a foodie. And out here in Lubbock, everybody does. And they're like, oh yeah, go here, here, here. But in Denver, you get like those really unique.
it's like every restaurant
Really,
we went
really,
through,
really
we
good
went to
dishes.
had like such a variety of foods,
Mhm.
and like the menu, like this, like the description of the foods was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like it was great.
That's why I really like Taste Buds because I miss that diversity and
Mondays
like
are for the
those,
buds.
those good flavors.
But that's why I
We
think like
definitely
food
got
trucks
that
are so big out here. Like
Stoner-ish
yeah.
food.
I think that's why, like, you know, that's why I pull up to First Friday because I want food. You know,
guess
that's
I'll
why I go
start
to the
smoking
cast
weed.
block parties because I want food.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's where you get those, like,
Fun.
stacked dishes
That's
or
when
those,
you
like,
order like
loaded,
egg
weird
rolls, and then you
plates.
steal from your honey's egg
You know
roll, and you
what?
get
Okay.
mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I like doing events all
Let's-
together too, because you can get different foods. Like, oh, I want, some Asian food, or I want tacos. You can get all of that.
Yeah.
They're like a feud going on.
Next time I see them, I'm going to buy you egg rolls.
Yeah, you owe me one.
Okay, so literally, there's like that Texas egg roll food truck
Yeah,
or whatever.
egg roll, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So at like the Lubbock Live thing, we were out there. Okay, I get us egg rolls. He's drunk. He ate most of his egg roll, and then he just kind of walked away from it for like 20 minutes.
I'm conversating.
20 minutes.
You guys know you got a network.
So I was like, oh, I gotta throw this away. He's not gonna eat it. Eats. 5 minutes later. Hey, where'd you put my egg roll?
Oh man.
God forbid.
I ain't forgot about
You
that.
gotta have it fresh anyway. So she did you a favor.
I eat cold food. I don't care. Food's food.
He was literally like,
So mad.
Were they the traditional ones, or did y'all go with the flavor? Like they do like a Philly egg roll sometimes.
oh, we
I
just
don't
got
know.
like, I got like a brisket one. And
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, it was
I like the macaroni
No
and
idea.
cheese.
It was
I love the
good, though.
Italian. I love the Italian. I love pizza in general.
I wish we had more of an Italian scene here.
I really like
'Cause I
one
fucking
guy
love
from
it.
Italy.
Have you been to Italian Garden?
No, we were gonna go there, but we
I like
didn't
it.
go.
Yeah, I like
That's the
Italian
one
Garden.
downtown.
too.
I love
Yeah.
Italian
Yeah.
food.
I wasn't
Go to
like
Italian
really,
Garden.
really impressed with Italian Garden. It was good, but I wasn't. But I didn't try that pink sauce that they have. I heard that's
The
delicious.
lobsters. Oh, it's like a pink.
It's just pink. It's like just like a marinara and Alfredo like mixed together to make their pink sauce. It is good.
Yeah.
It is still the gravy.
I don't
The
know.
Sopranos.
I wish we had more like that type of food.
authentic
Yeah.
Italian food. Yeah. Well, and I mean the people who own it, they're not Italian,
So I figured.
but yeah, it's really popular. It's probably the closest to it you're gonna get. One
Yeah.
Guy's is good too. I've only had their
Yeah.
pizza though. I haven't had any
We
pasta dishes from them.
we went there and then we went back like a couple days later because we were so impressed. Like the food was so good. We had the
Nice.
pizza. My son is big with pizza, so they don't sell like personal pizza. So we ordered an entire pizza and then we all had our own dishes. And everything was good. Very good. They're starting a food truck too.
I heard.
That's why he was at that meeting.
Okay, cool.
So one guy from
Who-
Italy is gonna have a food truck also.
Is he actually like an Italian dude?
I think the guy that started it is like Dario's, and he opened his own restaurant branch off also. I believe so.
Is that on 82nd now?
I think it's some. I don't know, bro. I don't even know where we are right now.
I don't even know if it's open
Dion's?
yet.
Dario's.
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 Yeah. I think it's gonna be on. I think it's on 82nd
I'm not sure.
towards Milwaukee and Frankfurt.
Milwaukee sounds familiar. Like it's gonna be over there.
All these places, and we still couldn't find nowhere to go eat. Like half the time we tried to go eat.
The other day, it was like a few weeks ago.
The other day, it was like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Accurate.
My weeks have like been blurring together, but we were like looking for somewhere to go eat, and I was like, "Where are we gonna go?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Where do you want to go?" And I was like, "I don't know." So I was like, literally just like driving through Lubbock, like, "Oh, we're gonna hit a light, left or right, choose now." And so
Like the next restaurant we see.
yeah, and so he was just getting pissed every time. He's like, "Fuck, left, right, up."
I feel like they should have an app for that. Like, where are we gonna eat
What are you
today?
gonna do?
Like,
I saw a
Russian
meme that was
roulette.
like it's like Tinder and you swipe and it like you and your partner sign up together. So if
That'd
you
be so
swipe on the same things, it's like that's
Tells
where you
to
go.
How cool! That'd be sick.
That would be.
Oh, I thought that was
My
a real
husband and I
thing.
have
No,
that.
I just saw a meme that said it like there should be one.
Oh, that's a
There
good
should be,
idea.
right?
That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Do it. Somebody get that going. 'Cause
You guys
that's the
heard it.
thing.
You
My
can steal
husband
it.
and I are like, oh, what do you want? I don't know. What do you want?
I'll be damned. That's a good idea.
Even if it's selected something, I'll still be like, nah, I don't want that.
Right. That doesn't sound,
Bradley,
that doesn't sound like
where's your favorite place to eat at?
Favorite place? I mean, probably Orlando's. Orlando's pretty good. Burger wise, I do like going to Sam Burgers. It's like a
What's that?
hole in the wall place across from Coronado High School.
They're expensive, man.
Whole
It-
nails are my
All
favorite.
burgers are expensive now.
any beef right now.
So is Sam Burgers like legit like an open restaurant?
Yeah, it's drive-through only right now. So
I literally thought that place was like.
they sell out every day. By 2:00, they're already like sold out.
Is this the one that's like right next to, like it's right across from like that American Freight Furniture? Kind of
Yes,
by.
there used to be a tattoo shop right next to it too.
I literally so the gym I go to, Gino's gym,
I think it's right there.
is literally right next to it, and every day I'm like, damn, that building's just abandoned.
yeah, no, because
Like I thought it was
They
an
make food
abandoned
in the
by
building.
2:00 they're already closed.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do make really good burgers. It's just like that
Yeah.
old school like greasy burger.
yeah,
Oof.
It's good, yeah.
like dry.
Hurt your heart when you eat that
1950s.
Like
motherfucker.
Tommy's or like Pete's.
Yeah, very
Oof.
similar.
Pete's.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Lotus Burger's
That's
pretty
good.
good too. That's on
Mhm.
50th.
I like anything like that. with,
What's
like,
the
a
other one?
strawberry milkshake, tater tots.
Mhm.
What's the other one? Not Nirvana Burger. What's the other one they do?
Hill Barbecue.
That's what I was thinking of.
That's what
Yeah,
we're
he had the
talking
Instagram pulled up.
Oh yeah.
They're my neighbors. Actually, there's like 4 people that live in my neighborhood. We have Mai Tai in my neighborhood.
What's your address? Oh, yeah.
I know, right? we have like a Facebook group for the neighborhood, and we all found each other, and we're like, man, we should do like a block party with all the food trucks.
Hey, shout out to my boy Robin. Actually, he sells meat. You guys, if you guys, can you go to Facebook?
Facebook.
He's a rancher, so he has his own meat.
I would love to
So,
source locally.
Just thought about
A
that.
lot of people out here do
Robin is his name.
the beef though, and I just use so much
First-
pork.
He actually like just opened up a storefront to sell his meat.
Wow.
It's called Ring Bar. Hey, Ring Bar. I have the cup right here. Keep going
nice.
down. He did a grand open on Saturday. Sorry, buddy, I got drunk. Couldn't drive over there. I know you understand. Right there. There it is. They sell meat. So if you guys, he
I'll have to look and see if they have pork.
he has his own buddies. Oh, I don't know. This is Black Angus beef.
Oh, see, that's what I run into a lot because I'm all about like supporting local. I want my money to go right back into someone else's pocket here, and
Have you gone to Hale Meats in Wolford? They do pork.
yeah,
They raise like most of their own animals,
yeah.
and then they have their own butcher shop and they run it.
There's a
Yeah.
butcher shop over there. That's what my stepdad was telling me about. Actually,
Yep.
I think they're on my
Hale
list.
Meats.
We did work with Cotter Farms for a little bit, and they have like all grass fed pork.
being that you guys do work with food, would you ever dispatch an animal yourself with your own hands
Mm,
in the whole process from the beginning to the end? Would you ever do that?
no, I could not do that.
I could.
Have you done it?
We had chickens.
Oh.
And it's a very Cuban thing to cut a pig open and throw it on the ground and cook it. Like,
That's how it go.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I grew up with. Is like in the backyard we had a pit. Even in my husband's backyard, they have like a little covering that we open up at, every now and again and throw pig in there and throw corn and it cooks overnight in the hole in the ground.
So good.
So yeah, I would. I mean, that's
Have you done it before?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I mean, I've been a part of it. I haven't like done it by myself. Pigs are heavy.
Yeah. I'm okay with the whole animal. I'm just not going to take its life. Like,
Yeah.
no, I will starve.
Yeah. I did have that, like, we want to get land out here, and we did have chickens and stuff, and we're into the homesteading a lot. But my husband's friend was giving us, he was gonna give us some pigs, and I was like, I can't. I'm gonna just keep it as a pet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get really attached to
Yeah,
it.
my mom has a pig, and he's so smart, and I was like, there's no way.
Is it her pet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, she has goats, and they raise quail.
Wow.
And then she has one pet pig, and then she has a ton of chickens.
What's his name? His or her name?
His name is Kevin.
Word.
Nice.
From The Office?
No, Kevin after Kevin Bacon. Kevin the pig.
That's funny.
Yeah.
My friend has a cow named
Man,
Brisket.
pork belly really is. I like pork belly.
Oh.
Jesus.
Mhm.
Love some pork belly.
Yeah.
Hill does pork belly burnt ends, and they do like a sweet, like Asian glaze.
You for some reason have a bug that's just
I know,
flying
it like
around you.
loves me.
Yeah, I like those like pork belly, and I know what you're talking about.
So good.
Those are good.
I'm newer to like the Texas style barbecue, so I love trying
Like that?
all those. Yeah, we had some from Marley Meats the other day. They're burnt ends, and then that big old potato with macaroni and stuff. And I was like, carb overload. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's new to me. This barbecue.
Really?
All this. I
Didn't
mean,
even think
it's
about that
so
like
much
that.
meat. Like,
I'm not a huge meat eater, like anyway. So
Yeah,
I'm all
I
about the
can do it,
barbecue
but-
side.
I think it's like a mental.
how I
I can't
judge
get full
places.
unless I eat
Potato
meat.
salad.
that's crazy.
I cannot get full unless I eat meat. Like I guess it's just something in my head. I don't know.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like people's digestive systems are like in a different level out here in Texas with all
Well,
this red
if
meat.
you want to go down that track, I'll tell you what you want to know. Because, man, that shit's good though. I love barbecue.
Yeah, it's definitely an art though. Like for real. I mean, the time and the patience and the skill that goes.
It's like I
into
have a
cooking
friend who
barbecue.
actually like welds the fucking like he makes money building barbecue pits. Like you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's everywhere.
Out here
That's
it's
what
super
he
big.
does.
Huh?
Evie Mays.
I heard they're really
He
really
makes his
good.
You guys haven't been up there yet?
Bradley,
No.
what are you
I
I had
talking
somebody
It's
tell me they
very
were like,
good.
"That's the only barbecue you need in Texas is Evie Mae's." So it's on our list.
So I
but
think
Where's this at?
Hills
in
and
Wolford?
Evie Mays here in town.
It's top 10 barbecue places.
I'll do a try 'em out.
Is that shit that sells out like in like you gotta get in line?
Yeah, sometimes.
Some days, yeah. Like I went not that long ago, and I was like the only one there. So
Oh,
some good barbecue.
well, you didn't have to say all that, but
It was like 2 p.m. already
Oh,
on
okay.
Wednesday. Oh, like weekends, it's pretty.
not like a whole chicken though. I like whole chickens too.
Their chicken is delicious.
You see, that looks good.
But yeah, the owner of Evie Mays, he builds barbecue pits too.
Oh.
So
Your best friend builds them. Pancho, he builds them, and they're pretty cool
Trash.
though. Well, besides that, they're really cool what he builds. So I'll say that. I don't know about his personal life too much, but what is going on?
it's malfunctioning.
It's the meta
The
side.
metaverse.
Oh, I'm hitting this.
I do like a
Oh,
good
it's
sausage.
fine.
I do enjoy
So you've never
very
like,
good.
smoked that like a brisket for like 13 hours or anything like that.
No, I tried for a brisket empanada. I tried cooking it, and I had like 4 different people tell me like, "This is how you cook it. It's fat side up," and then the other person was like, "Fat side down," and then I don't know. I had so many different things, so I just tried it, and then we had like some good reviews, and then some people were like, "Oh, it's too dry," or this and that. So I was like, "Whatever. I'm not even gonna try this. I don't have time."
There's
For
so
that.
many ways to do it too. Yeah, because like you'll hear everyone talk about,
Yeah.
oh, you're supposed to do it like this.
Well, that's how I
Use the steam
am
or, oh,
with
yeah.
my pork. Like my mojo pork is a labor of love. Like it takes at least 4 hours to marinate it, and then it's cooking for over 10 hours. So that's where I put my heart. I don't know about this barbecue, but you want some mojo pork? I got you.
Man, I'm hungry. Yeah. Sometimes I like them sliced, sliced brisket. Sometimes I like it chopped up.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just depends.
on what mood.
Shout out to Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. I was about to say something
Or
before that. Have you ever had tripas?
Yeah.
Oh, I love those. Those are
Yeah.
some of my favorite things to eat.
That's what I really miss about living in Denver is living right across the street from my mother-in-law because she is Mexicana, like from Mexico, and that's the best food I've ever had. And she throws down with all that.
We had really good Mexican food that last year.
I thought we were in Mexico. It was crazy when we went there.
Roy was like shook. He was
In
like,
Colorado?
everybody's ordering in Spanish.
Well, I mean, we were downtown.
You were
So we were like downtown. It was like,
Yeah.
it was white. And then literally the block away. We're in Little Mexico, and I'm like, what the
Love
fuck?
That.
Man,
It's like,
it
what
was
the
great.
fuck?
That was so
No,
nice.
the food was
I-
delicious.
It was like a hole in the wall.
I
Gordita.
miss that so much because out here, it's
Like
very
their menu was
Tex-Mex.
just like a fucking phone picture of
Uh-huh.
their food.
Sharpie underneath
And
it.
with like a number, so
Those
it's
are
like
the
you just had to
spots.
assume that you knew what it was.
There's one restaurant out there that's just like hole in the wall, but they're open 24 hours, so that's where you go whenever. And they said that that's where Chapo was like washing his money, so they had to shut that down for a little bit. But their tacos are like so good, phenomenal.
Oh, shit.
He's in Colorado. He's like
He's in that fucking fortress of a prison.
Yeah. That's
That's
big out there,
crazy.
like the narco culture.
I almost ended up at the fucking Air Force base when we were coming home.
in
Like, I
Colorado
was like,
Springs.
it's like, how do I get out of here? Yeah.
So
luckily
there's one that's called NORAD, and it's inside of a mountain.
Well, we
it's like-
almost ended up there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Have you guys heard about the Denver airport conspiracies?
I've been there and
Yeah.
I've seen it. And
It's crazy, right?
It's
It's so
crazy. Look
crazy.
up those pictures, would you please?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I grew up when I was like 11 years old when they were building the new airport because their old airport, they moved it further out. And I remember when they were building it, they like started over. So there's all these rumors of like, oh, they built the underground and then they said they had to start over, but then they built
Yeah,
on
they
top
said
of
there's
it.
like
That
bunkers
that
underneath
fucking
there.
picture.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
that's the
the
picture.
art is crazy.
That's
It's
one
so
of them.
scary.
It's
And
just
then
weird
it's
to
like
see.
a plaque is like the airport donated by the New World Airport Association or something
There's
like
like
that.
gargoyles and
It's too like
There's,
in
like,
your face
the-
to be like, nah.
It's weird. There's like that blue horse statue with the red
Uh-huh.
eyes.
It's so it killed
But,
its
like,
owner.
Yeah, like
That one,
it
that's the one I was
literally-
thinking of.
it
We
fell
call
on top
it-
of him,
uh-huh.
right?
We call it Lucifer.
Yeah,
Lucifer.
yeah, no, that's what I
Lucifer.
heard. Yeah.
It's so scary. It's like this huge horse statue, but the eyes are red,
glowing
like
red
lit
eyes.
up red eyes. So
That's
you drive
my
by the
favorite
airport,
picture
like,
right
it's
there.
So creepy.
I've only been in the airport in Denver.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the airport's huge, but
way to go, Bradley Pitts.
it's pretty crazy.
Just kidding, man. Thanks.
Slow.
Look up Lucifer.
Yeah, it did. It fell
Like,
on
what
top
kind of
the
shit is
owner.
this?
I think
Why
like
would you have this
Yeah, at an airport too.
at an airport?
right before it was being done or something, and they had to have someone else finish it because the statue killed the original artist. And it's still up there, and
Yeah.
that airport is crazy though. They have like the military like suppressing people in the portraits and stuff.
Yep, right there. Boom.
And then you do go when you're in Denver, you know, the train is underground and you can see like other tunnels and stuff. I'm a conspiracy believer when it comes to that airport. It's crazy. It's fun to look into.
Huh. Whistleblower reveals secret underground base. I saw some sad news come out of Denver actually today. Aurora.
What happened?
There's a shooting at a park. Today, actually. I was looking at... some reason my feed fucking gave me that.
I
saw
feel like
that.
there's always shootings. I was in there when the Columbine shooting happened, and like that was.
You were in
crazy.
Columbine?
How did
No, I
that
wasn't
like?
there.
How did
But
that like change like
Tennessee.
your school life?
It
Like
was
did
so
like
crazy.
shit just?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's always shootings in Colorado. I don't know if there's a lot
Yeah,
of
the
school
fucking...
shootings here.
the movie theater
Yeah,
shooter was
yeah.
there.
Yeah, but
I was 2 blocks
Columbine
from
was
that.
like
The first.
one of the
big,
first like.
And then we just had like another school in Highlands Ranch, which is really close to Columbine. They had a shooting where the 2 kids went in and like shot up, and then they had one of the kids like rushed the kid that was shooting, and he lost his life, but he saved countless people.
Yeah.
They had but I feel I don't know if that's how, like, I'm just from Denver, so I know all about Denver. But are there
Well, that
school
seems-
shootings here? Or
There
in
was
Texas,
one-
or?
There was one... No, that was at a church. I don't know.
I feel like there's a school shooting in Denver all the time, but it was crazy. Like, I was younger, so I didn't fully grasp it. But after that, I mean, it was just like the city was shook. You know, they had the big memorial, and then it was hard, man. Like,
It was huge.
uh,
Yeah. Even now, like people are still like traumatized by it
Yeah.
out there. Like they're still very, but also it's like there has been like so much of that happen out there
Mhm.
with like the movie
I
theater
don't know
shooting.
what it is. I don't, and I'm out here and
Because like wasn't the movie theater shooting in like in Aurora?
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
that's what that shooting was today, actually.
yeah
Another one.
that night it was crazy because I was out a couple blocks away from the movie theater, and I don't know why I didn't know about it, but I got home and they were like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" Like freaking out. And then we saw all over the news, like, oh, my heart, you know, like I can't imagine. And just going to see a movie, just so innocent, and people are crazy. I don't know if it's that marijuana out there or what, but it's hard.
So those mountains, man. There's
The lack of air or something.
crazy people out there.
Yeah.
What is that noise? That might have been me.
It's like,
But,
That might have been me. Sorry.
Well,
I'm shaking my leg, so it may have been my leg. Can you hear it?
yeah, I can hear it.
Can you hear now? Yeah, it was me. It was my leg.
oh, wow.
Sorry.
So,
I can't stand still for some reason. I don't know.
It's okay. You need one of those fidget spinners.
I love those things, actually.
he's like a stress.
I had one on my, like a ring that would do that. It was the
Yeah.
best thing ever.
Oh, they have now like a pop-it thing.
Oh, those things
Oh,
are
those
popular with kids now.
So popular.
Swagadeli's daughters, that's all they had. Just like those little toys.
Y'all ever feel old
piece
like
of
looking at the kids these days?
Jen, do you?
Do you?
No, I'm young. You're old. I'm only 23.
You're 25.
You're 32. She's 32.
I'm 27.
How old are you?
I maybe am 30. So
Do you ever feel old?
No. I truly don't. I never do. Like,
how old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh, we just did an event for Texas Tech, and I was looking at the kids, and I was like, "What are they wearing?" And I was like, "I sound like a mom now."
yeah, I'll be like, oh, hey girl, you forgot your pants at home. Yeah.
Crazy.
I guess I'm probably the oldest one. You're 30?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I'm older than you.
27.
Yeah, I'm definitely the oldest one.
Oh wow, you forgot your pants at home. What are you wearing, girl?
33.
It is a cold one right now. I'm getting a little chilly.
Yeah.
Can you pull up their Instagram real quick? We're gonna end this one. So, where can they follow you guys? Where are you guys gonna be? This should be out like 2 weeks. Hopefully within 2 weeks. Before December.
Give us a follow on Instagram, and I post my schedule every week. And then they have a food truck page.
So you do it by the week.
Yeah, we
Okay.
do it weekly because it's honestly it's different every week for us.
Mm-hmm. Same.
And then they have a post that they do every week, and all the food trucks will post their schedule on that same post.
Yeah, Facebook. Go follow Lubbock Food Trucks today, and like Jennifer will post. Everybody post your schedule here, and everybody will go, so you can find where all the food trucks are every day. And then,
That's so
I think
cool.
a lot of people don't go out on Mondays or Sundays.
Yeah, we definitely
but
don't do Mondays.
Yeah, usually every other day. Same thing. Follow my Facebook and Instagram. Every Thursday we're at Drug Emporium. Every Friday we're at Trinity Christian School. So I like to have those regular locations, and then we're hopefully opening our storefront here in January.
Nice. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you
is a
for
good
having
one.
us.
Jennifer?
Yeah, y'all go eat now. I know you're hungry.
You got any things to plug or anything like that?
All right, now follow Texas Chainsaw Alchemist.
Bradley Pitts.
Follow me at Bradley Noel Garcia.
When's the short film coming out? Is it still in the works?
No, I'm gonna put it out this week. I've
This
been
week.
so fucking busy with tile work, and so it's gonna come
Being a
out.
laborer.
Yeah.
There you go, people. Snake Pit Pod and everything. We'll see you guys next time. Thank y'all.
Yeah, thanks.
Ooh, yeah. Pee again.
Oh, that was so fun. It's so weird to hear now.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It's like
Thank
y'all aren't
you.
in my head anymore.